Oh, hey, I didn't see you guys there. Welcome to the opening day extravaganza from the Athletic, basketball, NBA. We're back. We're like less than 4.5 hours. That's not true. It's a nationally televised game. We're probably about 6.5 hours from opening tip-off of the first game, but it says it's a 7:30 start over there on the East Coast. It'll be Sixers and Celtics. It'll be Warriors getting their rings and then getting the business from the Lakers or giving the business to the Lakers. Draymond might punch somebody. We don't know. I'm Zach Harper. We got Trevon Edwards. We got Mo Dakhil. We got Jay King. We're going to have, I don't know, Hall of Famer David Aldridge, the man with the longest book titles in the world, Marcus Thompson, also covers the Warriors. We're going to have Skeets and Tass from the most legendary basketball podcast there is. We're going to have all kinds of guests for you. Dave DeFore is going to be here. Andrew Schlecht. We're going to be answering questions. Hashtag Ask Dave, or just drop them in the chat, drop them on Twitter, whatever you want to do. And guys, check this out. We have burning questions for the season. Like, these aren't just like questions that you could ask and questions like, I wonder if there's a cool answer to that. They're burning questions. If we don't answer them, they will burn everything down. It doesn't get more exciting than that. I just realized Jade had written a whole intro for me that I've just completely forgotten to read. But, it's whatever. You got the gist of, you know what?
I'm
reading it now. Here, I'll finish it off. And I got basically the whole thing. Let's go. All right, let's go, guys. We're in it. First of all, Trey, how excited are you for basketball to be back? You're muted, but you got a good
excited. Forgot to
we can't hear Trey. Oh,
hit the unmute button, Trey.
Hey, Mo, how excited are you?
I can't wait, Zach. I really am fired up. Tired of baseball already. Tired of everything. Football season's not been good. I'm ready to get going. NBA season. Let's get this party rocking.
Now, Jay, Celtics fans are upset with me. That's probably going to shock
Why?
You. Because
hold on. Isn't every fan base upset with you?
No, I've mostly heard Celtics fans have been whining in my mentions the last 24 hours about I put them 8th in the power rankings. I have them in the East behind Milwaukee, Miami, Philly, I think in that order to start the season, mostly because we don't know what's going on with Joe Mazzulla, right? Like, I don't know what kind of coach he is. We know that Ime Udoka really helped fix this thing. He's not going to be there. And so I don't know what to do with that. 2, I think the Robert Williams III injury and their lack of depth inside, I think it's a big deal. And
you're not a Luke Cornett believer?
For the regular season? Preseason, I'm all in on Luke Cornett, but regular season, I don't know. It leaves a little bit to be desired there. But Jay, is there reason for outright optimism with the Celtics, or should we be kind of looking at this as like more of a we need to wait and see a little bit?
The optimism would be just that they're ready to jump back right into what they did over the second half of last season. The second half of last season, starting 6 games before the trade deadline, they just trounced everyone. After they picked up Derek White at the trade deadline, got rid of Dennis Schroeder, they had a 13.3 net rating and just absolutely decimated everybody. And so that's the optimism, is that they're ready to continue that, and they don't need Ime Udoka there to get back some of those habits. That Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have turned the corner and are ready to lead a team and lift their teammates just like they did toward the end of last season. They went to the finals. That could be very good experience going into this season. We saw the Suns last year, how even though it ended very, very poorly, before that, they were kind of a machine coming off the finals disappointment the previous year. So that's the optimism. And
am I the only one that hates those jerseys?
Oh, those jerseys? Oh, there.
No.
They honored Bill Russell with Bucks jerseys.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, I get it. Diamonds are forever. Cool. Shout outs to 11 rings, but they only look good when their hands are on the sides. Like, that's it.
Yeah, that's a tough look, Trey. Like, if you have to be positioned a certain way, that's a tough look. J. King is getting a ring light ready. What's going on, man?
We only knew about this. We only knew about this, a few days ago.
Yeah.
To get set up. This is
I don't want to do play-by-play. Oh my God!
Oh no! Turn it off.
The kid's glowing. He's got that post-honeymoon glow going on right now.
Even though I was a little late, it's worth it.
This is what Greece does for you.
Yeah. Wow. Let's get into some of these questions. Let's start off with question number 1 that we have here. Is there a consensus league pass team for each of you? Trey, let's start with you. Is there a consensus league pass team where you're just like, everyone wants to watch this team, I want to watch this team, like let's go with them on league pass every night?
It used to be the Hornets last year. So this season,
the Hornets. Why the Hornets? Just
Hornets were fun last year, man.
With
LaMelo Ball, bro.
They were fun.
This season, it will be. I want to watch some Paolo, man. I'm gonna go Orlando.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see what's up with Orlando, and then I got faith in the Baby Rockets, man. I think the Baby Rockets are gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think they're gonna lose a lot of close games, but I think they're gonna be fun. Jay is shaking his head.
That's the type of team I'm excited to watch them on League Pass. And then 2 weeks in, I realized they just play awful basketball.
No, come on,
and
man.
all my excitement was not worth it. And I'm just watching Kevin Porter Jr. take step back threes.
This purist who has been hyping the Kings for 5 months.
I mean, that's Jay King's answer, right?
Yeah,
like it's the Kings. That's it, Jay. We expect you to have the whole
Clippers,
the whole
baby.
Kings.
Clippers, baby.
You're not staying up for the Clippers.
Kawhi is back.
Yes,
he's paired again with Paul George. They're so loaded that Luke Kennard is like their 14th best player.
Luke was good for them last year, man. Luke was really, really good.
It's crazy how loaded they are with legitimate NBA players. So the Clippers are my squad.
Mo, is it a unanimous pick for that across the board with most media?
For the Clippers?
I think
that they'll be good. No, I don't know about League Pass.
I don't have them as my League Pass team.
Yeah.
Because you know what? You got to figure out how many games is Kawhi playing. You got to look and check the tweet of who's starting or whatnot. But for me, it's New Orleans.
Yeah, I was going to say the Pelicans. That was my second.
Oh, we got Zion back. I forgot.
Just the way they ended last season, too.
Jose.
Even without Zion, it was an exciting team to watch. It was fun to watch. They're my League Pass team. They're the team I'm going to be looking for every night and try to catch as many games as possible.
That's a good answer.
What about Zach? A team? I was going to say New Orleans. I can go somewhere else, though. You know what? I know it's going to come back to bite me. I'm oddly in on this Portland team. For some reason, I don't care about the preseason. I don't care about any of that, right?
God bless your heart, man.
You're hanging out with Ian Carmel way
Simons
too much.
Simons is back. Jeremy Grant's there. GP2 is going to be there in a minute. Nurk is back. Like, everyone's back. I like the role players. I like Dame. I don't know if Chauncey's a coach or not,
Zach,
but like
in 10 games,
I'm
you're going to
in.
be coaching the Blazers.
You know what? I'll take the check. I'll take the check, and we will revolutionize the game of basketball with just shoot it whenever the hell you want to.
It's going to be the first team where all five guys
got
don't
Dame
go back on defense.
Don't
all
go back on
five guys
defense and don't go inside the 3-point line on offense. Like, that's
they've got Dame and Simons. That's kind of what they're going to do anyway.
yeah, I know. It's
Hashtag Portland Zach.
I'm kind of in on this Portland team, but all right, let's go with the team that maybe is a little under the radar. It's easy to say the Pelicans, right? Maybe the easy to say the Clippers. Dre did say Orlando. I don't know if you can get much more under the radar than Orlando there, but I would say for me, I'm interested in seeing this Wizards thing. I want to see like how that works. Like Bradley Beal's fun to watch. 2, we didn't see a second of him with Kristaps last year. I love the Monty Morris pickup. I think Will Barton's going to be a lot of fun for them. Gafford hopefully gets back to what he was a couple of years ago and is just high flying.
We're talking about
shots.
league pass, and we're talking about Daniel Gafford. That was like,
yeah, hey man, Gafford's a vertical spacer, a shot blocker. Like I want to see. I don't know that the Wizards are going to be good. I'm super intrigued by
12th in the East.
I'm appalled.
Probably
appalled that you just chose the Wizards.
I'll go with a dark horse league pass team is Detroit. I think Cade Cunningham with Jaden Ivey. I think Ivey's just been fun. Highlights already in preseason and things like that. I think that's a dark horse league pass team where we're just going to get fun, exciting games. Where they might not win as much as we would like, but I think they're a team that's going to be fun and exciting to watch.
What about Minnesota?
I like
they're just
under
weird.
the radar.
I mean, on paper,
they're not under the radar, but they're just weird.
On paper, they sound good. I don't know where to put them yet, but I will say, in the words of James Edwards, that the Pistons are in a good spot to either be, let's say, either they could be that kind of Suns bubble team. You know how Suns went on an 8-0 little run and kind of can carry over momentum, or they can bottom out and brick for Vic. Yeah. So they're in a good spot, you know.
The best hedging position to be in.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best, to be in the middle. Yeah.
What about this for a pick?
Are the Knicks a league pass?
Knicks are going to be awful to watch. They might be a good team or like an average team. They're going to be awful to watch.
2 years ago, they were so much fun to watch.
You have to wait for the bench to come in. The bench is going to be fun.
Jalen Brunson could be fun.
That starting lineup's not going to be fun.
He's going to change. What? Why not?
Keep Cam Reddish off the floor.
No one's ever had fun watching Evan Fournier play basketball, okay? Nobody.
Tom Thibodeau said that Julius Randle is even moving without the ball now. That is a big step for Julius.
To go yell at fans?
Cutting Julius could bring them up the league pass ranking out of here, man.
Obi Toppin's the guy. I want to know when Obi's in the game.
He's the reason why to watch it. So I also seen online, right?
Cleveland is going to be a good league.
Someone had Cleveland as a potential 1 seed. Is that high hopes?
I think that's high, but
extremely high
because the East is so good. But like, if you told me you're back from the future 8 months from now and Cleveland was a top 4 seed in the East, like, I don't think that's nuts. Maybe even as high as top 3. Like, they're going to be super competitive. To me, it's just, are they going to be healthy? They had a lot of guys out last year, and they still have a pretty young team. You know, Kevin Love averages that out a little bit. Rubio's a nice veteran presence, but for the most part, like, that's still a really young and experienced team. And so I don't know if that's quite like,
I like
we
4,
get to
5,
Memphis
6
levels.
They combine a lot of league pass things, though, like the elements to a league pass team. Because first of all, they're pretty good, so they'll be in some good games. They're not just like a bum team filled with young guys like the Rockets that you're going to get annoyed with after
Rockets slander
a few weeks.
Jalen Green, hold on.
We only slander for Titta, man.
Hold on. Jalen Green, after the All-Star break, 22 points a game, 59% true shooting.
Kevin Porter Jr. also destroyed at the end of the season. You know why? Because nobody cared when they played the Rockets.
Oh, but the Pistons could carry over from last season to this season. Get out of here, you fraud.
I never said that. That was Mo. But anyway,
whatever.
Then they have
from this side of my screen. I don't know.
They have a super talented backcourt with Garland and Mitchell that will do a lot of fun things, and then they have the Mobley factor, which is just, it's going to be so entertaining to watch that dude grow. And I don't know when the leap is coming for him. It's coming soon.
He's in his second year. Like, what?
It could come now, but
don't forget about White D Wade.
He's going to be good every year.
Don't forget about White D Wade, the Durant
Dean
stopper.
Wade. I will forget about Dean Wade. I could not.
Dean Wade is solid.
Put
the
him
White
on,
D Wade, man.
No, put him. We're not calling him the White D Wade. Dude,
I think we have.
You could put him on this stream right now. I couldn't recognize him. No offense to Dean Wade. You made an NBA career for yourself. You got an extension. Congrats to you. But we can't be talking Dean Wade before we talk about like a Okoro, right? Like we can't do that.
Did we even talk about Donovan Mitchell?
He briefly, I think Jay briefly mentioned Donovan Mitchell. Like, oh yeah, that guy.
Dean Wade's gotten more talk than Donovan Mitchell on this conversation.
What's a team you absolutely do not want to watch?
San Antonio.
The Hornets.
The Wizards. The Wizards have been that team for
probably
like
the
10
Hornets
years.
and the Spurs.
Yeah. Let's leave it. Hold on. Non-tanking teams. Non-tanking.
So the Hornets,
no Indiana, no
Spurs,
no Thunder.
Totally off your list.
Lakers for me.
Lakers. Wow, that's a good one.
The reason why I'm going to say, now hear me out. Now hear me out, because every year we get roughly 24 to 30 televised games, and when they're bad, they're bad. If I'm going to have to be forced to watch the Lakers, they have to be good.
Good luck.
The Spurs are it for me.
No, let's go non-tanking. Like no Thunder, no Jazz, no.
I'm going to take your league pass team out, Zach. I'm not that interested in Portland right now. Maybe it changes after a few weeks.
Man.
We've seen this before with Dame and
it's
CJ and a small guard.
It's
and
always
all
a
this
good
stuff.
show.
It's a good show that goes nowhere. We know how the season, the sitcom's going to end.
For years, they were like the 3 seed with that exact same problems. I'm not saying they're going to be a 3 seed, but like they've been pretty good in the regular season. We're just talking regular season here.
It's crazy. I'd rather watch the Pacers play than the Blazers right now.
Now that is offensive. That is offensive.
Hey man, why not watch the Rook?
Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin.
You probably lost me on Halliburton, but I'm loving the Rook
Halliburton.
over there.
And Mathurin, that's a league pass duo for a couple weeks till you realize they stink.
Exactly. I'm talking about the whole season. You're not watching TJ. Well, Jay will watch TJ McConnell, but you're not watching TJ McConnell for 60 games.
I ran into him
I'm lying.
In the back hallway of a Celtics playoff game. And I walked right by him, and then I turned around. I was like, "Wait, what is TJ McConnell just?"
You thought he was a lawyer?
The back hallway. I thought he was somebody's agent.
That's a great professional to be right there, TJ McConnell. You can blend in forever.
Blend in, you make a lot of money, right? He gets like $9 a year. Like that's a good little career. He's going to end up getting a 10-year career, have the pension and everything.
He's good, man.
He's going to be like a skills and development coach first, and then he's going to become.
All right, hold on. No, we're not doing a season preview and just talking TJ McConnell for 5 minutes. We're going to move on to the next question. Will there be a finals hangover for either the Warriors or the Celtics?
Celtics don't make it. They flop out.
Mm-hmm.
They become the Suns of the East.
So good regular season, but flame out in the postseason.
Yes,
I can see that. I mean,
second round exit, if that.
I'm interested to see because Jay, you kind of brought this up earlier, but I'm interested to see is now that they've gone through this controversy, Udoka's not there. They have some injuries to start off the season, or in a big injury to start off the season. Do they revert to the first half of last year, or was second half so transformative for them that they can carry that over? Because I would guess it's like 50-50 of what you should actually expect if you're looking at this objectively, because we do see teams revert, right? We saw Atlanta last year revert to a team that just didn't care about the regular season. Not that the Celtics were that, but they weren't playing defense. Like they completely took a step back and then had to resurge. But with the Celtics, maybe Tatum has truly grown into a leadership role like we saw the second half of last season, and he is just a full-time MVP candidate.
And that's their challenge, is how much of it can they carry over? Those guys have been through a lot, man, from the drama of the last Kyrie year to going 500 to having all the talks last year about they should split up Tatum and Brown. Then now the Ime Udoka stuff, like those guys are pretty hardened considering their age. They've seen a whole lot in the NBA of the business. And yeah, like it's crazy because they were a good team last year for 3 months. And for those 3 months, they just steamrolled everybody. They made the finals. They totally transformed themselves. But you have to do it again. And you have to do it again now without Robert Williams, who was a huge part of their identity. Now it looks like they're going to have to play smaller. They don't really have a proven backup big at all, unless you want to count Blake Griffin, who's past
we don't count. We're done.
Who's past that stage at this point. So there are a lot of questions about them, but you know, if they can still tap into that style that separated them at the end of last season, like they're going to be really good. But if they can't, they were before that at less than 500.
I think they start out slow. I just think Celtics with just the Williams things is too big. It's too big of a hurdle, I think, for them to
shut up, Mo. We got a Hall of Famer here. We got David Aldridge here.
Stop it.
No, Mo, finish your point. I'm sorry.
No, he's been waiting to shut me up since he's met me. So it's not, none of this is new. I get this all the time from Zach.
That was great.
But
You made DA leave the group chat.
I did?
Very I was very hurt by the.
I was envious of DA there. I was like, man, I would love to leave this chat.
Oh man.
DA, what are you excited about heading into this season? Like we were talking about consensus league pass teams. We're talking about, is there a hangover for the Warriors or the Celtics after their finals appearance? Like what's the number one topic on your mind?
Dude, I just want to see the guys that were hurt last year. Like I want to see Zion. I'm excited. You know, I want to see what does he look like? Not that I'm sure he's in good shape, but that's not what you want to see. How good are they offensively with him at his best, and Ingram and McCollum and the rest? Like that could be really good, right? So you want to see that. You want to. I want to see Kawhi. I want all the guys that have been out really the last year and a half. I want to see them back on the floor because it just changes everything. What's Mobius? What's Morpheus doing in the chat?
He locked in.
Hey, can you tell me where Neo is?
Is it a late night or an early morning, Marcus?
It's both, baby.
Look at Marcus locked
Town
in.
business.
Man,
You know what I'm saying? Let's go. I'm ready.
hey, what's up with Trinity? How's she doing? Is she good?
Hey, it's ring night. It's gonna be a lot of bling. I'm protecting my eyes, baby. Protecting my eyes.
That's a good move. Yeah.
All right, so let's get. I want to talk to Marcus. I want to ask you right off the bat. Percentage of boos in the crowd for Draymond tonight. Is it 90-10 cheers, or is it more like 60-40 cheers? Because there's gonna be some boos, right?
Nah, it's gonna be 99.
Really?
So I went to a preseason game and I sat low, because I wanted to be with the people. You feel me, Trey? So, but you got
those tickets from Lacob. You got those tickets to go.
Trust me, Lacob ain't giving out no tickets with that tax bill. Not with them taxes, Zach. Everybody paying.
Nah, you keeping that.
You're gonna get a media tax pay.
He's charging us for our seat now.
You got a PSL for media seats,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But you got
the press room meal is going to be worth $40, right? You just get a hot dog.
$30 for that bad chicken. You know what I'm saying? But you could hear up close. You could hear some people were booing, and I felt like they got that out that system. I just feel like it's a different night, man. It's ring night. It's gonna be all celebratory.
No.
I feel like you won't. Some people might, but you just won't hear it. I think Jordan Poole's family gonna be in the building, so it won't be zero. Right?
Yo, that would be so funny to hear like some little random boos. Just a little boos. That's great.
Is TNT gonna go when like Draymond's getting the ring? Just do a quick cut at Poole's face.
There needs to be a picture of the Poole family, every single member around the screen. Absolutely. I want to know because I mean, I would love this, but usually what I would love is bad for the league. So when Gilbert Arenas had the locker room incident and he comes out into that huddle and he's doing the finger guns stuff.
The finger guns.
When Draymond gets his ring from Joe Lacob
listen,
tonight,
this is what they need to do, Zach. This is what
It would be funny.
What they need to do is, you know how they go around,
Just
right?
lean
And
into
they go
it.
and they high five
right.
everybody. Like he's going to Draymond, Michigan State, Draymond, and he go by. Everybody should be like,
yes, they have to oversell it. They have to oversell the punt.
GTA Marcus is a great nickname here.
That's crazy.
That's funny. Come on, that's funny. Come on. I don't even play video games.
crazy.
That's funny. Come on.
You feel me? I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Are they
that would be
going to
fun.
have like a fake punch celebration? Is this going to be like after a
There's
dunk,
gotta
somebody? Yeah,
That's when
just-
we'll know Jordan Poole is really.
That's when it's over.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
That's when
right,
we know
right,
it's
right,
over.
right. Yes.
That's when it's
Yes.
over.
Yes.
I don't think we there yet, though.
No.
No, 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 no,
Nah,
don't
it's
think
gonna
we
be
there
a little,
yet.
it's gonna
I
be a
don't.
little
And
time.
would they?
Take a
And would
while.
they risk kind of overwhelming ring night? Because whatever happens forward is going to happen. But
Yeah.
ring night is supposed to be about the championship we all won together last year, and I don't know if they want to step on that message or not and remind everybody of the pugilism that just went down like a couple weeks ago.
Pugilism.
Well, luckily they played the
Bert
Lakers. so
Sugar
that-
entered the chat.
That's an SAT word right there.
Yeah, that was a.
That's why we bring DA.
Yeah, that was an Ethan Strauss word for a second. Sorry, what if I was on a Substack? Marcus, is this the proverbial last dance? Like, is this Draymond's last year with the Warriors?
It certainly feels like that's way more possible than ever, right? Like, I mean, the bottom line is, like, punch or no punch, get over it or not, they're now committed to a cap figure that the owner has said, I'm not paying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's not like, all right, we're not going to sign somebody or whatever. No, they've committed the money.
Right.
So now it's pay or somebody has to go.
Yeah.
So now they got to decide who is leaving. So in
His
the
bag's
end,
already packed.
yeah, there's already like they've already committed the money. That's why it was such a big deal that they inked up both of those guys.
Right.
Because it's like, oh, you
Mhm.
just added $50 million to the year you were supposed to be trying to get off money.
Right.
So they've
Mhm.
only made it so he either got to pay the $500 million or somebody's got to go. Like
Mhm.
that's just them's the rules. That's the game. So
Mhm.
they can get over it all they want. Come July, that's still a decision that has to be made. Now, some of that is going to play out with the season, right? If Wiseman and Kuminga looking like they ain't the answer, probably maybe you dump them and try to get some of them Oklahoma City draft picks or something, right?
Right,
If Clay
right,
is
right.
not looking, you know what I'm saying? If Clay's
Yeah.
not looking, if it's looking like a clear passing of the torch from Poole to Clay, like, all right, you got some moves. But the obvious one, the one that's seems the most sensible right now is to trade Draymond, right? And if he balls out, he might say, you know what, I'm out, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
so
Yeah.
to me, it does feel like it is the last dance, but in the end, man, we know what Joe Lacob's about. Is he gonna actually cry poor mouth on this? I don't. That's the other thing. That dude, his whole thing is wrapped up in we'll spend whatever.
Yeah,
And
but
so now
I mean,
he's
but
got
like
to
you
say
said,
he's got to cry uncle to the salary cap.
yeah,
But
but
it's,
you, like you
it's
said,
tough when
he's-
you're almost paying a full billion.
I mean,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you're paying- that's a Billy, man.
Yeah,
Come on,
that's-
now.
It,
I'm
hey,
just
he
saying,
gonna
don't
look,
nobody
he gonna
feel
look at them.
And even if the cap goes up, it's not going up high enough to
Right.
feel for
Right.
him. Like he's
Mm-mm.
so
Drop it to like 470.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
like oh,
He
great,
gonna
I
look
can
at
get a
them
coat.
rings and
Like,
consider.
Ain't nobody complaining about the dude making it rain at the club, running out of money. Like, nah, bro, we expect the rain. Like, what are
Right,
you
right,
talking
right,
about?
Yes, that's true.
Marcus looks like an expansion pack on The Sims right now. Like this.
Hey, no, I was gonna say he got his virtual currency from 2K.
I thought I reached my 1,000th podcast and these came in the mail.
Exactly.
Fire.
Exactly. You and Spencer Dinwiddie later on are going to be like doing some investments.
You see the reflection in his glasses. It looks like he's hacking into some kind of like CIA
It's
headquarters.
a Skynet. He's going to try to
The Matrix.
You know what I'm saying?
oh boy.
So here's the question I have here. Like, how does Steph respond to this? Like, to me, that's one of the big questions because Draymond is his guy. They've won 4 titles together. But also, Jordan Poole is the future.
He
Right?
is.
Jordan Poole's the
is.
guy
To,
that's like,
to
yo,
some extent, though,
That's a great question, though.
Draymond's a Hall of Famer. Like, moving on from him to go to a young dude who has come off the bench and been good in a scoring role, but has never proven that he can be anything else is something entirely different.
Yeah.
And also, like last year, they did the whole we're gonna split between one timeline and the next and kind of straddle them both. By the time the playoffs arrived, it was basically the same old dudes who brought them
So
there.
hold on, you
all the
saying
other
Otto Porter wasn't part of that second timeline? Is that what you
No.
saying?
No, it was
You
all
said
the
Gary
older
Payton
guys.
wasn't part of that?
And Jordan Poole and Wiggins obviously was huge, especially in the finals. But like, it's still the same old guys, and Draymond is still an enormous part of that, and the second biggest part behind Steph. It's such a dangerous decision because you don't want to keep Draymond past the point where he's a super difference maker, and you don't want to piss off Steph. But that's also the drop off, even from Draymond to, like, let's say Wiseman is good. Let's say Kuminga is good. Let's say those guys actually pan out. They're still so young, and it's just tough to win with young guys in the league.
Yeah.
And especially when you're changing from Draymond Green, who's one of the best winners in history, and has been on both sides of the court a major part of the Warriors' identity as a team. Like
they gotta move him. Does he intervene? Does he say no? Like,
I think he goes to front office and say, you got to bring him back. You have to make this happen because, again, Draymond does so much initiation of the offense. I know, and that's why people complain, how could Steph be the best point guard? He don't even initiate the offense. You know what I mean? Like, when he's missing, when Draymond's out, you can tell. When he's out, the defense is not anchored. It's not moving. No one's doing all these things. So now when you just say,
getting cooked by Anthony Davis.
Right.
So then when you say, all right, sayonara, and we're going to rely on these young guys, the whole identity shifts. Obviously, Steph's still an OG. Andre's on his little last leg, so he's out of there. And now he has to embrace this new style of run. And we've seen that when it was the injuries. And it wasn't so great. Not saying that Steph couldn't get his numbers, and he had to work extra harder, but he's getting older, and he wants the low lift and ride out to the sunset with his guys.
Championships, too. Like,
exactly. Look, come on. They're on a different plane now. They're about Jordan now. They're like, we're going to try to get 5, 6, 7, as many as we can before this thing ends up, because we could be all time. We can be all time. You know, that's what they're thinking about. And you notice this, all the shit, I assume I can say that Draymond has said over the years, he has never gone at Steph. Ever. He's never gone at Steph about anything.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We've seen teams also at a certain point give up on a guy when they're old. Like, we've seen guys like Jay, you're saying, like, just giving up on a Hall of Famer. We've seen it where they go towards a younger guy and they've made moves and things like that. I think it'd be crazy, but I don't think it's out of the realm.
We haven't seen this.
Because
we haven't seen this
Warriors prime, and that's where it's different. Is like a lot of the times when you give up on a veteran, it's because the other guys around him can't do it either. And so it's totally different to have one veteran in Steph who's still at his peak or close to it. Like, that finals was probably the best he's ever played in his life. And to have his wingman be the guy that is in the microscope right now, like that's different than any other situation that I can think of where you're trying to decide whether to keep a veteran, move on from him, or whatever. And so I don't know. It's
if he
I wouldn't want to be
he defensive player of the year, it's gonna make everything crazy. Like,
it makes it so awkward around there because, and I think he's going to be locked in this year.
He would have been last year if he stayed healthy.
His back's not going to hold up.
I just think that he talks so much shit.
That is a question,
Marcus, he talks so much shit that he has to back it up at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see him letting it up. But then also he's
got to be great this year, right?
And push on this one. He has to, because it's going to be make or break on this. Yeah. He's going to have to rely. Only thing that stands in front of him, I feel, is his body. If his body fails on him, that's it.
And Trey, he opens against Anthony Davis, like somebody he loves.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to
really tough for a quarter and a half until AD turns an ankle and has to go to the locker room.
Back spasm, Zach. Back spasm. Back spasm.
Why you got to question his ligaments, man?
As someone with bad ligaments, I feel the pain. Okay. I want to point out, because Marcus tried to be slick there and just slyly mentioned that Jordan Poole's the future of this team. Jordan Poole scored 13 points a game in the finals. I just wanted, he's trying to needle me.
Man, it was a big 13 though. It was a
sometimes
huge 13.
Sometimes it was a strong 43%. It was
like 11 straight in the third quarter when Steph was sitting.
Yeah,
that's like 3 extra points right there.
It is.
That's basically 30.
And then it's just a strong 2 for the other 3 quarters. Jay
know how big them points was. Jay was there.
And they went on so many runs when Steph was on the bench.
I love that this is your ally here is Jay King. Like you guys run that 2-man game all day long.
Like my word means
and
nothing,
watch these Kings, baby. Watch these Kings.
Let's try to figure out how many contenders are there this year, like actual contenders, not like
Thunder talk. That's what I want to know.
Oh, you want Thunder talk? Look,
that's the next show, Dick. That's the next
one. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 4, Zach.
4. All right, 4. Who you got?
Warriors.
Yep.
Nets. Philly. Clippers. There you go.
Okay.
Bucks 5.
You can't ignore the Bucks.
The only reason why I'm giving and look again, rightfully so. If the Bucks were healthy, obviously they're going to have a tough first 9 games because of the injury bug.
Yep.
And they'll recover because Giannis is just great.
Yeah.
But I do think that sometimes having a slow start can come back to bite you.
No question.
And that's the only reason why I'm kind of not keeping them out of the mix. But I do think that they're a problem. And if they were healthy, they would be automatically the favorites out of the East for me.
Right.
I think it's for them. It's not about how they start; it's how they end.
Yes.
If they're healthy going into the end. I mean, listen. Without Chris Middleton, they almost knocked out the Celtics in 7 games, and Giannis went to another level. I think they're for me. The Bucks are definite. Contenders. I don't think they even. They should try to go light throughout the season, but Giannis goes too hard every damn game.
Can I make 6 then? I'll say 6.
You should make 6.
I'll go 6. I'll go 6 because Denver on the West.
Yes. On the deadline, who's going to do better than adding Chris Middleton and Joe Ingles? Like, seriously, who's going to do better than that? At the trade deadline.
I don't know. There's going to be a lot of guys available thanks to Wembanyama.
Well,
but they're all in the Spurs.
That's very true.
Like, it's just Doug McDermott and them boys. Like, that's all that is.
Jakob Poeltl is going to change somebody.
I think Jakob Poeltl could help the Lakers for sure.
I think you could help the Lakers, Trey. Like
we've seen your Sunday runs, Trey. We're seeing your Sunday runs.
We've seen
their
Trey and the rest of the Lakers supporting cast.
Hey, I've been telling Steve Nash to sign me for a 10-day.
There you go.
Do it.
You good?
Does anybody think the Suns will be contenders by the end of the regular season? We think they've fallen off.
Well, you got to define contenders.
How could you possibly?
I mean, like
legit, they can win the title.
Like legitimately can win the title. Yeah, not like I don't like we can't get like 3 or 4 into the what if game, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's possible after how they went out, and I don't think they can make up for how they went out.
Yeah.
Until they get in that situation again.
What do we do with the reporting? Like the reporting that from us that like COVID hit them. Is that them going out like punks, or is that COVID? Like, I mean, I don't know.
That's fair,
it'll feel better if they lost by 12.
The Ayton thing is beyond COVID, though. That's
the Ayton thing.
You know what I mean?
Like
problem.
Yes.
And we got Jay Crowder.
You know what I mean? Like,
I was gonna say Jay Crowder too.
And they got to trade Jay Crowder, right?
And then Chris Paul is like 47 years old at this point. Like at some point, he's not going to just be
COVID
amazing
ain't got nothing to do with Luka and Devin Booker.
No,
ain't got nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
No.
So until they answer them questions, I don't know how
I get you. You're right. They may have been like not as.
It may have been
capable,
a perfect storm, right? Of just whatever.
But you got clowned on your home floor.
They did. They got
clowned you.
Don't forget they got blitzed the game before that too.
Right.
They went out 6 and 7. They just got
clowned you, man.
Yeah.
They went out like a team that ain't coming back.
You can't lose by 34 points and be like, and it wasn't that close.
Right.
Because that's what it was for them.
That's literally what happened though.
Right. Somebody got to give a hard foul or something, man. You can't go out like that.
Problem was Ayton wanted to foul Monty. That was it. He was ready for it.
Hey, all I knew about Phoenix was on media day, DeAndre Ayton was like, "Yeah, I ain't
really talking to him.
We haven't talked.
They're done. They're done. That's a wrap."
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like that's still there. Like that's not. It hasn't been addressed at all. You know. Like, so I don't know, and especially because it's like Trey said. I think the Clippers are going to be
Yeah.
The Clippers are the deepest team in
Clippers
the
are gonna be
league.
such a problem, yo.
Now,
Such a
injuries have always beaten them,
Health-
so they may
health
beat
is
them
the only
again. But
thing.
right
Mhm.
now, damn.
I'm about to be so on Zach's nerves with the Paul George hype. Oh man, I'm about to be.
I'll just
incessant.
send you every clip he has in front of a microphone. That's what takes it
That's
down, right?
all
We
it
know
takes.
he's a good
That's
basketball
all it
player.
takes.
He's a great basketball player. Just, he's bad in front of a microphone. Like, that's all it is. He just
I mean, he
says
gives us
stupid
great
shit all the
content.
time.
He gives us
Oh,
great content.
I don't want him to stop. It's great
Right.
for us. Trey said something on the Western Conference preview show this weekend of it's time to put pressure on Jokic. It's time to put pressure on Embiid, like
do what?
to win it,
Oh,
like
to win.
to
Okay.
compete
To break through.
compete for a title.
Okay.
There have
Yes.
been plenty of reasons, right?
Yep.
Plenty of reasons why this hasn't happened, in terms of injuries and everything.
Marcus
but like,
just will take no more questions. He's out.
But
No,
this-
he
yeah,
got
well, I
something
mean,
in the Matrix. He had to
he was
fix something there. He had to
we
go.
hit
I had
the
to
max.
take, I had
That
to
was a
take my
glitch in the
glasses
matrix.
off, and I
Yeah.
didn't want to burn y'all.
we hit
once I take
the
these
we hit
off,
the max of his appearance fee. Now we're in overtime. We can't
The
afford
Black
it.
Scott Summers.
He's too expensive.
you know what I'm saying? I had to take them off, man. Y'all don't want to see this.
But I like that. I like that comment from Trey over the weekend of just like, it's time to like no more. Yeah, but they lost. Like, you want to be MVP, Embiid. You
That's
gotta
fair.
at
That's
least
fair.
get to the conference finals. Like,
That's fair.
Jokic has made the conference finals before. Like, you got to get back there, and
That's
they
fair.
have the teams to do it. And maybe injuries will prevent. But yeah, I like Trey's comment of like, it's time to put pressure on.
I
these
think
guys.
especially for Embiid because everything that was a problem has been taken care of, in
Yeah.
terms of the roster. Like they've
Yeah.
done everything to fix the roster that you could possibly do. And yeah, like they should get out of the East this year. They should be in
They're
the
betting
finals
the house.
this year.
They're betting the house on everything right now. And I feel the reason why I made that statement was just mainly like, okay, we always say if Embiid had this or Embiid had that, yes. I'm not sure what James Harden is going to show up, but they took the pay cuts to get PJ Tucker and all these other people. Like, we talk about deep teams as far as the Clippers, they have Matisse Thybulle being a 14th man. You know what I mean? Like, guys are clearly out of the rotation now. They cut Isaiah Joe because they had no room for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, this team is championship or bust at this particular moment. And then I want to say about Denver, people push back on the comments after listening to the pod and saying that the Nuggets have overachieved. And I'm like, that's bailing them out. Then why are they compete? Why are they even
the two-time
competing?
MVP? Right. Yes.
With the
Yes.
two-time
I
MVP.
feel
Absolutely.
I feel like Jokic he's got to get the Giannis treatment. Like when Giannis won 2-time MVPs, we were like,
Right.
listen,
Yeah.
enough of
Right.
Giannis win a title.
Yeah.
Like that was cute and all that, but win a
Yes.
title. I feel like
That's
Jokic
fair.
in the same boat.
That's fair.
But he was
Where-
taking like Austin Rivers and Facu Campazzo. It's different.
I mean, but
between what
hey,
he was doing
You
and
got
what
Murray back.
Giannis getting clapped by the Heat.
No.
with middle
Hold
fingers.
on. No, I told all you MFers when they traded for Aaron Gordon, that's not a contender. It's just not. Like, you don't get Aaron Gordon and be like, well, I think we finally got the last piece.
Turned the corner.
Yeah, like that's not it. Like,
I don't know because nobody.
But Zach,
isn't Aaron
I'm
Gordon
gonna
like
push
the
Maul got hurt, right? He got hurt like 10 games into that or whatever, but
Yeah.
they still had a lot of talent on that roster. And it's not like he was just dragging trash through the playoffs like they got beat.
I was going to say Bones Highland is awakening.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You got
And KCP is going to
KCP is
they
a
make-
great
and
pick.
and they
That's one
brought
of the
over
best
and they
pickups.
brought over
Huge.
some vets that do what
Yeah.
they're supposed to do. KCP and Ish Smith.
Yeah.
They've plugged in all their needs. If
Yes.
they can't compete, I don't know what else they
No,
can
but
do. to
Marcus
this
is
team.
right because Giannis got dragged after the two MVPs with nothing to show for it, essentially. So yes, Jokic got to get dragged too. I
The
agree.
funniest part about that Denver lineup, they played the Warriors for preseason, and the Warriors got like Baldwin, rookie, Rollins, rookie, Kuminga, Moody. Denver had Jeff Green, Ish Smith. Like,
Yeah.
they're like the oldest back in the It was like, this
Grandpas,
is literally
yes.
like an alumni game out here.
All right, we're contractually obligated to move back to the Lakers here. So let me ask you, where does Russ finish this season? DA, let's start with you. Like, what do you think happens with Russell Westbrook?
I mean, man, that's a good question. I don't know. Like, to me, it's if he has a good relationship, I don't know. I was going to say, I don't know. I was going to say Indiana, because that trade's always been out there, but that's kind of an easy
Yeah.
out.
Charlotte, because of the MJ relationship?
Maybe, but I don't know what, Charlotte's kind of in a funky place right now. I mean, they got some issues over there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they want another issue, and Russ is going to be an issue just because he's Russ and he's talented and kind of sucks the oxygen out of every room. You know what I mean? So, there's a part of me that wants to believe that they can work it out in LA, but I just don't see it.
I think it's gonna be so awkward.
I don't know how
it's gonna be bad.
They've exhausted their options, man.
Yeah.
I honestly think he's going to get traded and then bought out and not be on a team on a roster at the end of the year.
Somebody will pick him up. Well, somebody will pick him up.
I don't know if you'd feel comfortable with that idea right at this point, right?
Well,
like
they may drop him, but
right.
So
you would pick, but why would you pick him up? There's no contending team that would need a point guard, right? A starting point guard.
Only injury.
You're not going to bring Russ to be a backup because he don't want to be a backup.
No, but injuries,
only injury would work in his favor.
Yeah, yes. I also think. Look, I'm not saying he's the same player. It's even the same situation because it was extenuating circumstances. But he dragged that Wizards team,
no question,
into the playoffs, right? Like, yes, I do think some of that is still there. Not that he's going to go out there and be an MVP,
but you have to cater to him. Like you have to do. It has to become his team.
Yeah. But also, it also comes down to this. This is not a year to win 30 games.
No.
Right? Like, this is not a year to be in the middle. And I think, so we don't think a contender is going to pick him. And we don't think, and if you're trying to tank, you're not going to pick him up because he might drag you.
He might win a few games for you.
He might win you 5 games that are going to cost you the opportunity to be the bottom level. In any other year, I'd be like, somebody would definitely pick him up and try to make a run into the play-in tournament.
Right.
This might be a year where we might see teams run away from the play-in tournament. Like, I really find it interesting. I think this it wouldn't shock me. He should be on a roster, but it wouldn't shock me with just all the circumstances that are going to go into this year. It wouldn't shock me if he doesn't end up on a roster at the end of the year.
You know how teams didn't want to go to the bubble?
Right.
That's how it's going to be this year.
Yeah.
Where teams aren't want to go to, they're not even going to fight for the play-in. It's just going to be like, you got it. Wherever it's going to be like the weirdest standings where it's like you look back, and we're going to look back at this year like, how did they get in with 32 wins? And it's like, it happened, but you're right about. And I was going to say, everybody, Mo, you're right about the Russ situation. I think it's going to be very awkward. I think that he's going to be very unhappy with his role because I think they're still going to push on him coming off the bench. He's already his agent was very honest with him, saying if you asked to be traded, this is the realistic situation of finding yourself at home. He didn't like what he heard and believes that he could still help a roster. It doesn't work in his favor.
I got a roster. I got a team that is too good to be in the Wembanyama sweepstakes, but not good enough to even really be a playoff team. They got a bunch of players who are absolutely tradable, and they spent all his money and don't know what to do with it. And Russ can go there and be the ball dominant point guard, and there's nobody like LeBron to say get off the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Zach, you know this team, the Sacramento Kings. Trade him.
That is a good spot. It's a good spot, but I hate that.
The Kings.
Oh my god!
Look how many they could trade like 4 dudes for him, and it won't affect the roster at all. Right?
I'm just here for just Jay King's reaction now.
Well, you're still trying to make Fox work, right?
I mean, how long is that gonna last?
Put that on the media guide. We're still trying to make Fox work. Right. DA, thank you so much. Marcus, plug back into the Matrix. We appreciate the time, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. We're going to take a quick break. We come back. No dunks on the Extravaganza right here on The Athletic. Hey, listener, do you have ambitious hiring goals for the last quarter of 2022? Of course you do. Why else would you be listening to this? With a powerful hiring partner, big goals are no big deal. You need Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates with the right skills when you can do it all with Indeed. Find top talent fast with Indeed's suite of powerful hiring tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. Do you hate waiting? Of course you do. Nobody likes waiting anymore. Indeed's US data shows over 80% of Indeed employers find quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job description the moment they sponsor a job. How do you do that? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the filtering system that they have. With Indeed, you can select for the skills that matter to you most. Customize your job post with a selection of over 100 Indeed assessment tests and find the candidates with the right skills fast. In fact, check this out. In the minute I've been talking to you, 16 hires were made on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. Join over 3 million businesses worldwide using Indeed to hire great talent fast. And guess the hell what? You start hiring now with a $75 sponsored job credit to sponsor your job post at Indeed.com/NBA Show 22. Offer good for a limited time. Claim your $75 credit now at Indeed.com/NBA Show 22. Indeed.com/NBA Show 22. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Welcome back to the
Don't even need to put us back on screen.
opening night. No, just leave this
Just
up.
leave
We'll just be voices here.
Oh my goodness.
That looks great.
Jerome, please send that to me, okay? Please send that to me. We're joined now from Grand Theft Auto 2, No Dunks, Taz Mellis, J.E. Skeets. Thank you guys.
How do we
for joining
follow
us
that
on
guy
the-
up?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
come
don't
on.
know.
You should take
Wear
us
your
off screen and put that back up.
Yeah, all of us should be off screen right now. Just put that back up. Gentlemen, are you guys excited for this tip-off tonight?
Oh my god, I got a late afternoon coffee going.
Yeah.
I got coffee pumping through my cyst, and
Your
I
cyst?
love going
You got
to
a cyst?
yeah, my system.
Oh, okay.
I love looking at Basketball Reference. And every team in like little bracket parenthesis just won. They're all tied right now. Nobody's lost, so everybody's feeling good about themselves. We put ourselves in your shoes today, Harper. We did basically power rankings on today's No Dunks podcast. We did tiers, and so everybody's upset with us.
Do you understand that? Do you understand that Zach
yeah.
charges a fee for every time somebody does?
Zach
power
Harper came
rankings?
up with tiers.
No.
Yeah.
He
All kind,
does charge.
every form of tears. It's me crying while all of them.
Yeah, we're excited. Obviously excited to watch some real basketball here tonight.
We were talking about this earlier of like the league pass team, maybe like the dark horse one, right? Like the Pelicans are the easy one for everyone to pick, but Tass, who's like a league pass team that maybe even a guilty pleasure for you?
You know who is being overlooked, Zach, and is getting a lot of national pub in terms of the broadcast schedule, but nobody's talking about them a lot, is the Memphis Grizzlies. And I know Ja was so good last year, but they're being pegged as a below 50 win. Like there's going to be a huge drop off. It's the freaking Grizzlies. We made the drive from Atlanta to Memphis to take in a Martin Luther King Day game last year. I took us on the wrong path, and it took us from 6 hours to get there to like 7.5.
Yeah,
and I got a speeding ticket. I was really dumb.
Yeah.
But the Mississippi
Can you expense a speeding ticket if it's
That's a good
That's
question.
a great
We didn't
question.
try.
Is anyone listening?
yeah.
Yeah, I should have. But yeah, the Mississippi Trooper was very nice. Anyway, I feel like that building, that arena, that just that whole atmosphere is worth the price of a click to click over and watch. Yeah, so it's a funny situation. A 56-win team on the rise, one of the best players in the game, but not a lot of hoopla, not a lot of talk. This year.
I think a part of that's probably the Jaren Jackson Jr. injury, and so people naturally, and he was important. I mean, he was like in the running for Defense Player of the Year, so people. He not in there. Everyone's like, they're not going to be a 56-win team. But
I think it's just more that people don't think they're going to win a lot of games besides Triple J. I mean, their over-under total is what, like 48 or something?
Yeah, 48.5 is what I saw.
Yeah, it's low. But anyways, it's a good question, Zach. I think that if they're on league or if they're on national TV any night, they're gaining so many fans. So the fact that most of their games, they're probably like 15th amongst like in terms of rankings of national games. So
yeah,
They're sneaky.
Skeets, I seem to be alone on outside of Portland of like wanting to watch this Blazers team. Like I got such
He's also alone on Wizards Island.
I put the
had
Wizards
some
out.
picks.
I'm fascinated by the Wizards. It's not that I think the Wizards.
He's the only one.
I'm fascinated to see how that goes. But with the Blazers, like I don't know why I'm diving in, but I'm diving in. Is that stupid?
Yes, I will travel with you to
Oh, I
Blazers
thought you were
Island.
saying yes,
No.
it's stupid.
The Wizards part was very stupid. I don't want anything to do with Blazers Island. Blazers, Zach, if you've heard some of the No Dunks podcasts, I'm a lot higher on them than most people. You see them like ranked, when people are doing the Western Conference, people are like 12th, 13th, I think I saw Portland. I was like, what? Hold on here. Like, I hate to bet against Damian Lillard. And hopefully he is healthy and has had a lot of time to recover. And then I love the concept of at least trying to add some defensive-minded guys. Gary Payton II, Grant. I know you're still asking a lot from Nurk as your 5 there to try and hold down the fort defensively. But I we debated whether they're a playoff lock, which is probably a stretch, or of course more of like a play-in where they could then get into the playoffs. But I'm going to be watching. I'm excited about them because I love Lillard just being back, and I think he has been forgotten about because he missed so much time, and then had that even when he was back there had a little rough stretch. I think he's going to bounce back.
You hear that, guys? You're wrong.
Yeah. So what's the case?
Yeah.
They're just going to be garbage on defense, I assume, is a fair counter.
They're bad in the preseason, so they must be bad.
It has nothing to do with the preseason, but we've seen the story before from them. Like, we've seen this team with 2 guards that don't defend. In the preseason, they're switching. And I'm like, all right, now you have Anthony Simons guarding bigs. That's not going to go over well. Like, I just think their defensive plan isn't really a solid game plan for the pieces they have with it. I'm not interested in watching them. They're not going to be a team I'm going to run to go watch right away. If Memphis is on, if New Orleans is on or whatever, like, they're just a team that's going to hang in the back for a while.
Zach just wants scorers.
That's all. I just want to watch points. I have no need for
exactly
defense.
like how he plays basketball.
Exactly. Like it's so unnecessary. No one ever wins 10-9. Like, that's not how you win in the NBA. You win like 130 to 129. That's how it's supposed to be. With this season, we talked a little bit about the Pistons being someone who could kind of surprise. James Edwards III wrote an incredible piece on Cade Cunningham and becoming a leader, and it's just his second season. But for you guys at the old Classic Factory, how do you see Cade Cunningham? What do you project him as going into this season, just in terms of, because I feel like that's asking a lot. It's asking a lot though for a second year guy to be an actual leader.
Yeah.
Yes. Seems like he's got it in him though. Yeah. I buy the demeanor. I buy the swag that he's got. And yeah, you're right. It's the fact that it's year 2, you just don't see that very often. How much can he lead? I think the expectations are him leading a 30-win team. So that's not him leading a playoff juggernaut. So I'm not too worried about that. I think he can be a leader of young guys. Again, there's not a lot of vets on that team, so it's not like he's walking into that locker room, pointing out, "Hey, Ben Wallace, come jump on my back." Like, he can lead the kids. I think he's got that demeanor about him. I'm buying it. He just has it in the bones.
How many players do you think Ben Wallace could have jumped on their backs and they would have been physically okay?
Yeah, like Shaq, maybe.
Yeah, maybe Shaq. Like, that's it, right?
I think, just to echo what Tass is saying, like, I am a huge Cade Cunningham fan. It was awesome to see him sort of like obviously find his NBA legs as the season went on last year, and then even get him somehow got himself into the Rookie of the Year conversation, and it wasn't even like that far-fetched after the slow start. I think a good season for the Pistons is Cade Cunningham getting some all-star buzz. Like, as we get there, they probably won't have the wins to actually ultimately make the team, but get some buzz. And then for the Pistons, like, in March, to be like, hey, we're 3 or 4 games out of a play-in spot. Like, like just the idea of like games that could matter down the stretch. To me, that'd be a great Pistons season. And the development, of course, of like their rookies and stuff like that, and their young guys and Bay and Stewart and stuff like that. That would be an awesome season. Some excitement from Cade, like a little bit of all-star buzz. That's probably too premature. and then just playing somewhat meaningful games, even if they don't make the 10th seed, just to raise the stakes and get these guys at least ready for the next step.
And it's funny with them because people are calling them a league pass team because it's more so because I think it's early for us on the East Coast. It's nice to have a decent team starting at 7 p.m., but the viewing experience for the Little Caesars Arena has never been great for me, and I don't like thinking about pizza all the time either. I think about the name. I think about pizza right away, and the viewing, just the angles, the lighting, never hit.
You need to stay away from the media dining hall there.
Is it just Little Caesars pizza?
What's going on there?
Just a hot and ready for everybody.
It is breadsticks. It is
God,
yeah,
that sounds good.
It is like a middle schooler's dream.
It feels like it's your dream, Jay. It feels like that's right up your alley.
The Celtics had a 1:00 game in Detroit last year, which means we were served brunch, and at 11 in the morning, I was just chowing down on chicken fingers and pizza.
Which is different from any
cheesy bread.
any other midday meal you would have normally had there.
Right, it's a cheeseburger or something.
Yeah,
like that's
a little early.
But Taz, does this mean like when you watch like the Lakers or Clippers, all you're seeing is crypto, and now you're thinking of like are you a big crypto guy now? Is this like
God,
whenever
Jess is down to bad right now?
Of course, yeah.
We all got hit by Dogecoin. I know.
I didn't know the naming rights worked. I didn't know.
Oh yeah, advertising works, Mo, big time. That's the crypto arena. Yeah, it doesn't really roll off the tongue.
No,
it's unfortunate.
It's like back when the Kings all of a sudden had the Power Balance bracelets as their Power Balance pavilion, right? And we're just wearing copper bracelets and trying to not fall over constantly. It was great.
And that all turned out to be a lie.
And it was the Maloop, so of course it turned out to be a lie.
I just wore them for fashion.
Yeah,
for sure.
We have walking sticks around here. Was the Jazz a walking stick arena?
Phoenix, wasn't it?
Oh,
Phoenix, yeah.
The talking stick,
the Jazz are Vivint Smart Home. It's just like a Ring camera for your home, right? So it's just you're just spying on people constantly, waiting for them to try to break in.
That was just Rudy and Donovan.
That's all that was. For your now hometown Hawks, I've kind of struggled of where to place them, and I was actually thinking, I was like, do I believe in them in their conference or the Mavericks in the West more? And I actually, I mean, I know the Mavericks just had a good run, but I don't really know what to do with either of those teams.
Yeah, they're being compared a lot because of what the Hawks did 2 years ago, going to the conference finals, and then obviously the Mavericks last year. Yeah, we struggled on today's show, especially doing the tiers. Like I said, like to me, it's like the Cavs, Hawks, Raptors. I mean, I don't know how to put them in order. And maybe even the Heat, honestly, you could put into that bunch. It's really, really tough. There's a nice buzz in Atlanta about the team because they've added like a quote unquote other star to Trae Young. So I think people are like, oh, okay, that's good. And a guy that plays defense, which is what the Hawks need to do. I mean, they're sort of like the Blazers that way when you think about it. It's like, can you just play average defense to help your chances to win some of these games? And the Hawks, like I went through with the Blazers, there's pieces where you're like, okay, DeJounte Murray, he's taking the best guard now. Hunter, he just got paid and he's a defensive minded wing. Capella gobbles up the rebounds and can at least change a shot at the rim. So should be decent, but they were garbage last year. And they're just hoping probably to be like the 17th best defense, and with Trae Young, you're like a top 3 offense. So I mean, that was a long-winded way. I don't know where to put them.
Right, yeah.
Are they the 4th seed or are they the 10th seed, right?
Yeah. Especially with the East and how there's so many good teams at the top. You can say the same about the West, but there's just something about Luka that, we were talking about guys that carry other guys on their back. Just see what Luka does every single postseason. It's I know those two dudes were traded for each other, and Luka and Trae, and we'll always hear about it. But there is absolutely something special about Luka in the postseason, and his team knows that he will carry them. The guy has averaged over 30 each postseason. He doesn't shy away from anything. So I think that it's, even though they don't have a second star, which the Hawks do, I think Luka will take them to their max potential. There's no doubt about that. And their max potential is probably, whatever it is, a 4 or 5 seed at this point without a second star. Well, I'm not sure what happens with Trae and this situation. They should be good, but I wonder how him playing off the ball is going to work. Is he going to cut? Is that going to happen? And does he even need to? Like, DeJounte Murray is a ridiculously talented dude.
Can you just stand out there and be fine, right? Like, because he's a threat, because he's Trae Young.
Yeah.
Don't get Mo started on this.
Mo is worried that with more talent on offense this year, they're going to be worse.
No,
he's like, I'm really worried about their offense. It's like they were
no. But
Taz
put it way better than I could, right? Like, it's a question of like, what is Trae Young going to do off the ball? Because I don't think as much of a threat as he's going to be just standing there. Yeah, it then becomes 4-on-4. He did that last year too, and just stood there, and it's a problem. And now you have a better player in DeJounte Murray able to create.
Some of us can just stand around and be in threat. It's just
you're not one of them either.
Like, it's
but like in all of that,
don't put a hand up.
If they're going to use Trae Young and do things like I saw in their last game, they ran like a pistol action between DeJounte Murray and Trae Young with Young running up off the ball, getting the handoff, and then giving it to Murray. Like, from there, you play off of each other, I'm all in. But if it's just going to be your turn, my turn, I'm out. Like, they got to work. They got to play off of each other and work with each other. If they don't, then I just don't see it working.
And that's why I trust the Mavs more, is because the Hawks just have so much to figure out. Like, Trae Young really has to learn a totally new way of playing basketball and how to accentuate another star. Whereas the Mavs just, even though Brunson's not there, they can lean back on the defensive identity they had last season. They can lean back on Luka, who has been everything for them offensively for a long time. And I just trust in their defense, which was really good last season. Like, really, really sharp all the time. And that's a huge difference from Atlanta.
Yeah, we saw last year in the postseason, if you remember the Heat, what they did to the Hawks. Just get the ball out of Trae Young's hands.
Yeah.
And we're talking about DeAndre Hunter. That's how he got paid, because he had a great postseason, and the Heat were happy with allowing him to go off. It was 20-plus points in the postseason. Hopefully it's not a Jerome James contract coming back to bite you in the ass one day. But, we love him. It makes sense, having DeAndre Hunter around Trae Young, but they couldn't figure that out. And, the Trae and the Hawks were great last year offensively. In a way, there's nowhere to go but down. In a way,
right?
With the pieces they've added, and hopefully the defense is better. But there's Jay is right. The kid is right here. The Mavs have it figured out in a way.
You brought up Jerome James. I have a good Jerome James story.
Bring it, baby.
Okay.
So
during you waited an hour into this show to start talking Jerome James.
During college, the Knicks held training camp at my school. And I was a ball boy for Knicks training camp, as were a couple of my other basketball teammates. Jerome James, Eddie Curry, Nate Robinson. It was just like the longest list, Quentin Richardson, of like NBA knuckleheads. But anyway, during the middle of practice, Jerome James asked my teammate to go make him a ham sandwich.
I don't understand the problem. I don't understand that. Ham's delicious. It's great. Yeah.
Just go get me a ham sandwich. My buddy was like, "Are you serious?
Did he do it?"
Yeah, I don't want to know. Oh, he did it.
Oh, wow.
I would have.
That guy was never a ball boy ever again.
Yeah. Like, how many people get to say they made a ham sandwich for Jerome James?
Yeah.
Probably only a few thousand. Like, it's
how many people get to say that they denied Jerome James a ham sandwich?
That's a lot. I think
the list is even smaller.
And live to tell it. Yeah.
And live to tell.
Sorry, they only serve pizza in this arena. Yeah. Sorry, no ham for you.
I don't remember how on record everybody is for awards picks, but you have a chance here. Well, let's go through some awards, and we can even make extra picks. So you've hedged against another pick on another show or another platform. I love just making different picks on different platforms. So I think this is a good spot for us.
You've never made the same pick.
No, I never make it. Well, just Heat and 6. Like, that's the only one that I keep going with. But let's start off with Coach of the Year. Like, who thinks that someone has like a real leg up on Coach of the Year going into this season?
Way to start with a real.
Let's start with the one where you can pick 20 guys from.
Yeah.
Like, nobody knows.
Give me Chris Finch of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Ooh, that's a good pick. I like that pick. Yeah.
Mike Brown.
Oh, I love it.
Wow.
Mike
Love it.
Brown.
How good will they have to be?
They just have to be 500. If
No.
he
Yeah.
takes the
No.
Kings
That's
to
very
500,
good for the
This isn't-
Sacramento Kings.
This isn't Doc Rivers in Orlando. Like this is.
It's going to be
They've
Willie
got
Green.
multiple lottery picks. Ooh, Willie
You don't
Green. I
think
like
so?
that.
Hold on, I agree with Jay. You don't think like if the Kings were let's call it 44 wins.
44 wins.
He might be winning Coach of the Year.
that might be
If everybody-
unanimous.
Yeah, give him Most Improved Player award. Give
Ooh.
him MVP if they win 44. That's a lot.
Back in 2019, they won 39 games. Let me see where Dave Yeager finished in Coach of the Year voting. real quick. You guys talk. I'll be right back.
He
Well, in that-
he should
in
have
the
been way up
meantime-
there that year.
You think he's
in the
5
meantime-
wins away from Coach of the Year in that season? I don't think.
Well, I
like,
mean, every season's different, Zach.
That's
What's
true,
going
yeah,
on
you
at the
know,
top of the order? Is everybody a 50-win team? We might have like 10 50-win teams. Like
That's true.
everybody might be tied. Okay, yeah, it'd probably take. Okay,
500
let's say this,
season.
Jay. Let's tweak that. If they were a playoff like 6 seed and above,
Oh,
the King,
slam
he's
dunk.
he's
slam
winning.
dunk.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
If they're a top 6 team in the West, I will petition to get him immediately into the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Like, there's
If
just
he
no
gets
way.
them-
like-
If he gets
And that's
that
when Zach
roster,
finds out how much pull he has.
the number 15th ranked defense, he deserves Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
And he might.
Uh,
He's a defensive legend.
Finch is a good pick
Finch
because
is a-
like
Finch is a
yeah.
good one, yeah.
because they
I
could
still
go ahead.
I still think it's Willie Green. I think New Orleans is going to surprise everybody. I even think they're going to win the division. I think they're going to be a top 6 team in the West.
Mhm.
If that happens, it's going to be Willie.
That's a good pick. That's a really good pick.
I did this on a different platform, so I can do it on this platform right here. The Sacramento Kings, the last, how many years was it? Their defensive ranking over the last 16 seasons.
Mhm.
Each year, they're 27th, 30th, 19th. That was a good year. 21st, 27th, 26th, 22nd,
19th was a
27th,
good
23rd, 29th, 29th, 20th, 23rd, 30th, 25th, and 22nd. Yeah, if the Wizard of Mike Brown can give them a 15th ranking, that's their 16-year playoff drought right there.
Yeah.
No higher than 19. The average is probably like 25 or
Oh my
26
God.
or whatever.
That's
I just-
disgusting.
They just
yeah, I
gotta
like to
be
remind-
fine.
I like to remind everybody the last time the Kings were in the playoffs is the same year The Departed came out in theaters. Like that's how long ago that was.
Wow.
The Departed, same year, and Kevin Martin was in his 2nd season in the NBA.
Good movie,
Um,
though.
Great movie. I'm gonna go Ty Lue. You know, not a big
that's a good
surprise
pick.
there, but he did a great job last year coaching. I think that carries over into some of the voting, and
Yeah.
I'll say Ty
Yeah.
Lue.
How often?
That's
does
why.
Coach of
That's
the
why
Year-
Willie Green is also good because they Coach of the Year does like it's like he's that name's got to get in your head and you're like
Yeah.
that's a good coach
Right.
and then going to the next season maybe exceed expectations or like get a number 1 seed or win a division that maybe
Monty
people thought
Williams,
you
right?
couldn't.
Monty
Yeah,
Williams.
exactly.
Yeah.
Monty Williams was a perfect example of that, and then now his center hates him.
But, like how often? How often does Coach of the Year go to the best coach? Because I think like Ty
Spoelstra's
Lue's-
never won it, so
Yeah.
Right, yeah, like
Yeah.
Ty Lue's one of the best coaches. Spoelstra, like it's almost we're gonna look at them and going like, nope, they got Kawhi, Paul George, they're deep. He's supposed to do that, and I think
Yeah,
that's the problem with the award is you got to
Yeah.
you got to exceed expectations.
All
I
right,
think
what about-
just final thought on Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
I can't believe we did 5 minutes on it. Because so many, like we have so many teams. It feels like this year. I know you guys probably agree with this. Like that, it feels like there could be like 8 to 10 teams that are like 50 to 55 wins. If one team does separate themselves, like sort of like the Suns last year, right? Like just like a 10 win or 8 win gap. No matter the team, be it the Warriors, be it Spoelstra with the Heat, be it whoever. Like that could just be enough where people's like, oh, we got to give it to everybody else is like in the 50 to 53 win mark, and this team is 160 plus.
Right.
That happens a lot with Coach of the Year too. I don't know who that team will be, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, what about Rookie of the Year? Is Paolo Banchero everyone's pick, or do we have? I mean, I know Jay's going with Keegan Murray, but who do you guys have for Rookie of the Year?
No, definitely not Keegan Murray. It's gonna be Paolo. He has the perfect combination of, first of all, he's really good. His game is like Rookie of the Year type game where he's going to score a lot of points, and that team just needs somebody to soak up a ton of possessions.
Benedict
Mathurin would be the other one. Yeah,
this is the guy that's going to make a big run.
Gonna
at
take
that.
a lot of shots. Yeah, and he can score. And
Yeah.
he's Canadian, so that's a great pick.
See, that was just know your audience. That was just me knowing my audience. That was the key there.
I believe it's Benedict Mathurin. Actually,
yeah.
No one's gonna call him that. But the recipe is there for Banchero, as Jay said. And I think, with Mathurin's potential to be like the number 2 guy on that team when Buddy Hield and Miles Turner get dealt, he'll have plenty of opportunity, especially with Tyrese Halliburton and how unselfish he plays.
Yep.
So there's a good recipe there. I always go into this Rookie of the Year talk thinking, like, yeah, exactly that. Who's going to get the most shots? But you also have to be good, and that's a part of it. Banchero's got that. He's got that in the bag. So I would take that. I would take him. I want it to be King Keegan with the Kings, but doesn't look good.
Well, yeah, with Banchero.
Yeah, Jabari's got opportunities.
He could, but those guards are just going to take way too many shots.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of passing on that team. There's not a lot of passing on that team.
Yeah. And that's why Banchero's going to have, very likely, he's going to be the Magic's leading scorer.
Yeah.
Like, who was it last year? It was like 16 points for Cole Anthony or something like that. I mean,
I think it was Cole Anthony. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very low, whatever it was. So, like, if he's flirting, because they're going to run stuff through him, and they should, and all that. He probably, I guess Wagner maybe jumps up, but he'll probably be the leading scorer on the Magic team. So it's tough not to pick him, even though it's the boring number 1 pick for ROI.
All right. What about Defensive Player of the Year?
How do you pick this?
I think it's actually like there's literally 5 names tops that are going to win.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. It will be Gobert again, because if the Wolves are like a top 5 defense and, 50 plus wins, that's an easy narrative. And he is, of course, one of the greatest defenders we've ever seen, or at least the past 10 years. Draymond Green. Draymond Green was my pick on our show prior to the punch. And I can't tell if I'm more confident about him winning it because now he's like, well, I gotta play good guy now. And I gotta be like, just shut my mouth, no more podcasting. Yeah, right. And, get to work defensively. So it's those 2. I think Bam Adebayo's on that list. Robert Williams would have been, but the injury sort of hurts with him being out, probably 8 to 12 weeks. And who else am I forgetting? Who is because it's going to a big.
I think Mikal Bridges really should have gotten more consideration last season because of what his job was, and he played 82 games. Like, he was there every single game, guarding the best player, and did a great job. But I don't know if that carries over year for year for a wing, right? Like, that's a tough one to really pull off. Like, it is going to be one of these big. What about Ben Simmons?
That's my dark horse. That was my dark horse.
Yeah,
he could use it.
But if you think about it, right? Like the last full year we got from him, he finished second in Defensive Player of the Year situation. If the Nets are going to be good, their defense is going to have improved, and I think that's going to be largely to do with him, who's going to be able to defend pretty much 1 through 5. Like, he's going to be the key to their defense. So we're gonna look at that, and then he doesn't have to worry so much about offense with the other guys around him. And this is all assuming everything goes well in Brooklyn, which could be a little bit nuts. But I think that's a great dark horse candidate right there is Ben Simmons.
Yeah. He's just been off the court for so long. I have a tough time believing
fresh legs.
He's going to come back from that.
Fresh legs. We saw
Al Horford do it.
Al Horford had like 2 months off, and then the best year of his career. Yeah, it was great.
Giannis is another one. Giannis.
Giannis.
Yeah, that was the name I was forgetting, and maybe Embiid as well too. He's probably lower on that list, but Giannis was the other name.
Embiid could benefit because the defense around him got better.
Yep.
And so his stats, his team stats will probably take a huge jump. And it's always good to have like a top 5 defense when you're trying to be DPOY.
And I think after Smart winning it last year too, it is going to like course correct right back to like a giant, like one of the big,
especially after the finals.
Right. And Ben Simmons, especially after the finals, after we realized, wait, Smart isn't the best defender on his team even, but it was sort of a team award, which I'm fine with. So
I want to push back a little bit on what Jay said, because sometimes just having better defenders around you hurts you, because then the numbers go, well, when you're off the court, the defense is generally the same, and things like that. Like, I think,
but when he's off the court, it's going to be like Montrezl Harrell.
Right. And Paul
that does hurt. But that's where you're hoping like PJ Tucker and Thibault and those guys pick up the slack defensively.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the stuff that's what won Rudy Gobert those awards all those years. Besides, as good as he was defensively, when he was off, just how bad the Jazz defense was. And I think that's what you're gonna look
Jeff
for.
Withey erasure. I can't stand for this. We're not just gonna throw Jeff Withey under the bus. All right, before we let you guys go, let's do MVP. Skeets, who's your MVP pick?
My legit pick is Giannis. I think the
Can't wait
Bucks
for the
are
non-legit pick.
gonna be. Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of like I don't have it in front of me.
What's your fun pick? Like Giannis is a
pick?
good one, but yeah.
Fun pick. I mean, I know other people are like leaning into it. Like Zion would be a fun pick.
Oh yeah. I like that.
If Mo's right and the Pelicans are like winning their division, 50 wins, and like if he's playing the way he did before he got injured, like he never missed a shot, and is pretty damn exciting. So he'd be my. It's quite a reach, but I think Giannis is going to win this. I think what I'm at right now with him is like if he wants to win it, then Giannis is going to win it. That's where we're at with him. And it's just like, does he want to? I don't know.
He also might just accidentally win it, right? He might not even care anymore. And just he's so good and so dominant that he kicks down that door again.
Yeah.
He's the default pick for a lot of awards, it feels like. MVP.
Coach of the year, MVP.
Giannis, definitely MVP, defensive player of the year. Just fill out the Giannis bubble. Yeah. Maybe most improved. Yeah, sure. Give it to him again. He could if he wants. It's up to him. I like the Embiid pick. It's probably not fun, but I think that Embiid will benefit a lot from the team being better around him in terms of wins, period. I mean, they won 51 games last year with Tobias Harris being their number 2 guy for 60 games, and then James Harden coming in and not being himself for the last 20 games. So defensive player of the year, I think, could easily go to Embiid, not just because their defense is better, but just because he's not going to have to do as much on offense. I think he'll actually have to give a crap on the defensive end, possession to possession to possession. So that could help the MVP. I think they win the 1 seed in the East, and he wins MVP. But fun. Zion. The odds are there for Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
If you like a narrative and you like a surprise, then it's there, baby. It's there to steal it.
How about this for dark horse in terms of odds? And Skeets, you're on this island with me. Dame plus 6,600 at BetMGM. So if they are good and if they are, working into that top 6 range, and it's going to be because of Dame, media loves them. I just want to keep throwing that out there in case it happens, and then I get to say, "Oh, I was right." And then if it doesn't, it's plus 6,600. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I picked Dame like 2 years ago as an MVP, like a dark horse MVP.
I think I did too.
It didn't go well.
It didn't work out.
Yeah. So I'm not doing that again. But I hear you. Yeah. No. That's the definition of insanity.
Giannis is my legit pick too, but I think things are set up for Luka.
Yeah,
he lost Brunson. The defense around him is still really good, and if they win a ton of games, people aren't going to credit the defense; they're just going to credit Luka.
Yeah, that's true.
It's very much like Jokic last year. Doesn't have a quote unquote number 2 guy. Just give it to the dude. He's got.
I'm surprised there's no KD talk. Nobody's at all. Nobody thinks Durant's going to do it.
Dead air.
Skeets and Tess, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Nobody wants to talk about the Nets. Let's just see them play.
Yeah, we talked enough about the Nets. Yeah,
it's crazy. But you're right, Mo. You are right. They do have Kevin Durant, and
before he got hurt last year, he looked like
for DPOY. He's got Durant for MVP.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
for Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Kessler Edwards for most improved. Like it's all Nets all the time.
All there.
Make sure you guys are checking out No Dogs. It's the best. It's the best there is. These guys are the best at it. Tass, Skeets, thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having us on, guys.
Nice seeing you guys.
Enjoy the hoops.
When we come back, Slam and Jam trivia with Schlecht and Dufour. Players under the radar players under Do Radar with Dave Dufour. But first. A word from our sponsors. Hey, listener, let me tell you a little tale about Zach Harbour back in 2014, 2015. I was living in Miami. That's right, near South Beach. And I lived in a very Spanish-speaking neighborhood. And the whole time, I had a hard time communicating because I don't speak Spanish. And I wish I had learned Spanish. I wish I had been back in high school and I had learned Spanish and I had carried that through to my adult life. Because if you're like me, and there's a foreign language like Spanish or French or something else that you regret not learning in school, it's never too late to start with Babbel. Babbel is the language learning app that sold more than 10 million subscriptions. Thanks to Babbel's addictively fun and easy bite-sized language lessons, you can finally cross learning that new language off your list. What I love, they test you in so many different ways. It can do like a flashcard type thing. You can listen to a conversation and try to pick out what they were talking about and what they meant. They do so many different innovative and just intuitive ways to teach you that new language. You'll be speaking it in no time. And guess what? It's actually fun to do these lessons. It's not like that boring school that you were doing in middle school and high school and even college. No, you hated it for a reason. You won't hate this because they make learning fun. They make you kind of thirst for it. They really do. With Babbel, you only need 10 minutes to complete a lesson. Not an hour period during middle of the day like you would do back in high school. No, 10 minutes. You can start having real life conversations in a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Their teaching method has been scientifically proven to be effective. That's right, science. With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, German, and more. Their speech recognition technology helps you improve your pronunciation and accent. They won't let you move on until you get it right. They really hammer that home, and it's so beneficial for you. So many ways to learn with Babbel. In addition to lessons, you can access podcasts, games, videos, stories, even live classes. And it comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. Right now, get up to 55%. That's a double nickel of percentage. 55% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/run. That's babbel.com/RUN for up to 55% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life.
That's the best.
Oh, so good.
That shit's so good.
Before. What's going on, guys?
Not a whole lot, man. Not a whole lot. It's hard to live up to that. Like, we gotta follow Marcus coming in like Morpheus.
Schlecht has a great background, though. I'm not gonna lie.
It looks like it's like a Good Morning America interview. Yeah.
Is it starting lineup or?
Yeah, we got some Shaq. We got a Heat Shaq figurine holding up
culture.
the trophy.
Yeah.
We've got an Anthony Davis from New Orleans up there. Yeah.
Street clothes or uniform?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
it was street clothes.
It's from the first half of the game.
It's from the first quarter. Yeah. What do we got, guys? We got some trivia, Slam and Jam trivia.
We're doing trivia. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing.
I thought the four was up first. You're up first.
Yeah.
Before.
Guys,
okay. Let's get those players under due radar.
That's right. Got some guys who are under due radar.
Yeah.
And these aren't like sleepers or anything like that. It's just literally guys who are being overshadowed a little bit. And this music's still going. I'm not sure if that's on purpose.
I like it. No, let's keep it a club mentality.
It's making me speak faster.
I'm
going to start with the Nuggets. You guys briefly talked about this, but post Aaron Gordon's trade, right? After they made that trade, they were 9-0 when they had their top four guys. Now, in the chat, Zach, you pushed back on that, which, fine. Yeah, they only had like maybe 3 good wins, but we saw like, oh, wow, the blueprint is there. Aaron Gordon being able to cut. And then the last couple years he's played well without Jamal Murray, he's kind of played, this higher role that he's not suited for. And now I do think that he gets to slide back into a role that's better for him. He's going to be better because he's kind of his skill has developed a little bit. I'd say he's a better defender than what we saw in Orlando. And now he just gets to kind of dominate as a role player. I think Aaron Gordon's a guy that's not being talked about enough.
So when we talked about TJ McConnell, we just had to move on quickly. I think we
Okay. All right.
Look, they're 3 guys, and look, like the Orlando Magic were trying. Okay, I don't want to say they weren't trying, but like I'm not buying in on Vooch. I'm not buying in on Fournier. I'm not buying in on Aaron Gordon. We saw enough of it. I'm good. Well,
he's the 4th guy. This is the thing, right? He's now in the spot where he's supposed to be. Another guy, Tim Hardaway Jr. A lot of focus on losing Jalen Brunson. Not enough focus on getting Tim Hardaway Jr. back.
This
guy was like a top 8 shooter in the league. If he's healthy, we know he's going to shoot it. He's a movement shooter. He can come off screens. He's going to be the guy that makes this shit work if it works this year. Spencer Dinwiddie is great. He's going to come off the bench and be, sort of a pseudo Luka who's going to attack the basket. But Tim Hardaway is the key to the Mavs season to me. If he hits, they're in that regular top 6 playoff. If he doesn't, they're a play-in team.
Yeah, I like the THJ mention here. Like he's a good scorer. Like he is a good scorer. He could be a little bit more efficient, but I think surrounding him, and especially if you get a second unit that has like a lot of him and Christian Wood in it, like I just think he can really lock that down and handle that second unit and even just keep them plateaued in those moments, right? Instead of dipping down. Like he's my kind of player. He just guns. Like, I like him.
Christian Wood being on the Mavericks is going to be weird for a while.
I don't think he's good.
The Christian
Wood
experience.
One of those guys, like,
I do not buy into Christian Wood.
It's going to be weird for him being on a good team. Like it's a weird experience for him just on that run.
I do like that they're bringing him off the bench, like, and not just like, all right, you're a starting 4 or starting 5 or whatever. Like I think it's a good
commitment to defense, man. And I think that's the right move for this team because the reason they had so much success was the defense. I mean,
my favorite part about that was nobody told him. Right? Like he found out, like, wait,
you can't tell him.
You right?
All right, guys. Next guy, Jaden McDaniel, who may be the best perimeter defender that Rudy Gobert has ever played with.
Yeah, he is.
Right?
100%.
Jaden McDaniel, I mean, he's not Anthony Edwards. He's not Karl Anthony Towns.
But
he is the key. Royce O'Neal is not nearly as good as Jaden.
Get torched one-on-one.
Like, come on. Yeah, wait. I mean,
Ricky Rubio
because he played in Utah. You haven't seen Royce O'Neal because he played in Utah, but you wait. You'll see him in Brooklyn. And Jaden McDaniel's better, right?
Yeah.
And with that length, his versatility, I think that this could be maybe the key to unlocking Rudy Gobert success in the playoffs. We'll see. But Jaden McDaniel's the guy.
Because you could put him on the bench and then just play Jaden big and everything. Yeah, I think so. I like this. Now, I may have been a little altered last night and let it slip in a chat where I was like, Jaden McDaniel, the new Andre Kirilenko. And I was like, well, without the passing, which is a big part of Andre Kirilenko. Yeah. But if you take away passing from the game, Jaden McDaniel, like he's one of those like kind of Swiss Army knife guys on really both ends of the floor because he can stretch the floor. Like he's really good. Like they put him as a starting small forward right away, which is going to be huge with D'Angelo and with so Carl. Big. Yeah, they're like James like 6'10", 6'11" with a long wingspan, very athletic. Like that's a big team, especially if Ant is able to defend consistently. Like that makes McDaniel's job as kind of like that free safety in there, like really, really exceptional.
It makes me more hopeful on Cat's defense too, because Cat gets to be a backline help guy, but then you have 2 guys to help Cat instead of one.
The problem with that is Cat will jump at anything, right?
Yes.
Like he really wants to block shots and he'll jump at anything.
The other problem is they also have to be helping on D'Angelo Russell's guy and probably Anthony Edwards' guy. There's going to be a lot of helping.
Yeah, I think they're going to play a lot of zone.
I'll get to the next one. And you guys talked about it on Buds, man. It stinks that he's stuck in Utah because I think this guy is I keep calling him B- Ben Simmons, but Jared Vanderbilt. He is a good defender. He's good offensive rebounder, hustle guy. Not a good shooter, not like a positive necessarily on offense, but I think that he can do things within a system. This is a guy where if like for some reason the Warriors don't have Draymond Green, I hope Jared Vanderbilt winds up with the Warriors, right? Like he's not perfect, but you could plug him in and you could see it work. So Jared Vanderbilt, and maybe he's too good to really stick around in Utah because this is high motor guy. Like how are you going to tell him don't go get 10 rebounds?
Yeah, if I'm a contender or a semi-contender
mold. They're just
do radar.
Like he's got he loves Danny Green. It's all the Danny Green.
Tari Eason would be on this list, but I've been talking about his ass all summer.
No,
man. Like,
keep talking. Tari Eason's
I have
awesome.
a site.
Yeah. I think with Vanderbilt, if I'm a contender or a fringe contender, I'm 100% giving up a first round pick for him. I know a lot of people are like, what are you doing? Like that dude is a difference maker. He is the reason the Wolves were top half of the league in defense last year. Like he's unbelievable on defense. He's not a great rebounder defensively, but he's a great offensive rebounder. Yep. But he just gets after it. Like he's a guy that is too good to be on this Jazz rebuild, but I think finding the proper value for him in a trade would be difficult.
these offensive rebounding guys like this are going to continue to increase in value. Offensive rebounding, I mean, this is something that me, Mo, and Seth have talked about for the last couple of years. Like, it's become more prevalent. The playoffs last year, you could argue, were decided by offensive rebounds.
Wiggins' offensive rebounds were massive.
Kevon Looney, and it's the key to open threes in the second possession of your offense. Right, you get the offensive rebound. We see it happen all the time. So I think guys like that are going to be even more valuable. And speaking of valuable guys who rebound well, Jakob Poeltl.
Yeah,
I'm going to continue the tampering theme. Free Poeltl. We got to get Poeltl on a team that's actually trying. The guy is a fantastic rim protector, but the thing that goes a little unnoticed, and DeJounte Murray is going to miss this, he is a really good roll man in the pick and roll. And you put him in any of these teams that have guards that need a big, or like a team like, again, I'm on the Fred Katz train, the Toronto Raptors that need a big who can pass, right? Like, he can pass as a roll man. I think Jakob Poeltl, under the radar, and nobody's going to see him because he's going to be playing on the worst team in the league.
I love the idea of the Raptors just taking veterans for a first-round pick every year from the Spurs. Like, I think that's a great idea.
Jakob Poeltl going to win them a title.
Jakob Poeltl like reunion with the like, I'm all in on this idea. Yeah,
I actually think he's going to be a great fit with the Clippers. I think they're going to try to make a run at him. They need to get a little more depth at the center spot. Their only real center is Zubac. I think Poeltl's another guy they could just bring right in and plug right in.
I kind of feel like Greg Popovich will just keep Poeltl no matter what. Like, he just will not let go of Poeltl.
Even though it makes all the sense in
the world to let go of Poeltl and trade him to the highest bidder. Part of me thinks that pairing will stay forever.
All right. And my last guy, and this one, Zach, is for you. The Heat continue to find guys.
Yeah.
And did you see Jamal Cain?
Yeah.
In the preseason?
Cain, yes.
Okay,
Jamal
man.
Cain talk.
This guy's kind of nuts. He had an 11 rebound game with 6 offensive rebounds. This is a 6'6" wing. Like, this guy, I think this is the Max Strus, the Duncan Robinson. I believe in his defense, man. I think he's actually going to defend for them. I think Jamal Cain is under the radar. I mean, he's a two-way guy, so by definition, under the radar. But Jamal Cain is this year's Miami Heat find.
When you said this was for me, I thought we were going to go Kenneth Lofton Jr., another two-way guy that needs to be converted to a full contract.
Convert him and trade him to Charlotte. Like, get him with LaMelo. Let those two guys just go.
Trade him to Team USA. Like, trade him somewhere. Like, he needs to be a star of stars. Like,
he just wants to.
He needs to play. Yeah.
He could go 18 and 11, right? Like, if he played 35 minutes a night, 18 and 11 every night.
He'd go 18 and 11 with a ham sandwich in his mouth. Like, this guy's a monster. He's so good.
James's ham sandwich.
Is there a team like what team could actually get him and play him? Like, because he might be too good for a tanking team, and he's maybe not good enough for a good team. So who wants to hang out in the middle?
Nobody wants to.
The Kings love the middle.
This is not the year.
This is not the year to be in the middle.
Love the middle.
The Grizzlies should play him while Jaren Jackson's out, and then maybe they win 55 games.
65.
All right, that's my under the radar guys.
Those are good. Those are good.
That was a good list.
That's a good list.
Thank you. Appreciate that. That. I'm not very good at list making.
Oh, I love me some Jamal Cain too. Oh my god.
He's nuts.
Culture,
man.
baby.
It doesn't make any sense, man. But the guy on that list, I mean, Jaden McDaniel, to me, we talked a lot about Utah. We talked how Gobert is a top 5 regular season defense and how that team theoretically could be a victory machine. Like, they could win 58, 60 games just based on a top 5 defense and a really talented offense.
Yeah.
Jaden McDaniels is the key to that whole thing because he's going to be working because of D'Angelo Russell. I mean, he's going to be working. So, Jaden McDaniels, I think he's going to have a real breakout season.
Let's get some trivia going, Schleck.
Let's do some trivia.
Yeah.
Ah, boy.
Are we playing each other in trivia?
I'm gonna have Jay and Zach compete for bragging rights here. Okay.
I don't get any chance. I don't even get I immediately get disqualified.
Man, he needs the help.
No, yeah, Mo's completely disqualified already. Get out of here, Mo. You can kick him out of the screen.
Wow. Wow. That's it. Here we go.
So opening night is fun, but how much do you remember from last season's opening night?
I couldn't even tell you played.
Yeah, I don't know who played.
I have 4 questions about the 2021 opening night.
All right.
Are you ready? Jay, you're going to go first.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Jay, there was a player that had a triple-double on opening night last year. Who was it?
Draymond Green.
Wrong! Okay, Zach, you have a chance to steal some points.
Played. So the Bucks played for sure, right? The Bucks played for sure because they were defending champs.
Yep.
I think we had Warriors Lakers, right?
Yes,
we did.
I don't know who the Bucks played though. Bucks played Philly? Boston?
No, wrong. Okay. Wrong again. You're just wrong. Nope.
I'm gonna go. I think it's gonna be weird. I think it's not Draymond. LeBron's too easy. AD doesn't pass. I'll go Steph. I don't know.
I almost went Russ.
Steph Curry is correct.
Oh!
Wow. Stole the question from Jay King. He was 21, 10, and 10. It was his first triple-double since 2016.
Okay. What are the odds? What are the odds?
How many does he have for his career?
Like it was a big Nemanja Bjelica night, by the way.
It's always a big Nemanja Bjelica night, okay?
Point for Mo for the Bjelica.
Yeah, back in.
So Jay's still losing.
Yeah, Jay, you're down 1-0. All right, Zach.
By someone who's not even in the game. This is tough.
I'm going to be chiming in the whole way, Jay.
Zach.
Yeah.
Who is the third leading scorer for the Lakers last year on opening night?
This could be any number of weird
I'll say
figures.
Malik Monk.
Malik Monk is incorrect. Jay, chance to steal.
How was that this game? And I don't remember.
So that was back. So third, did they all play? I don't remember if they all played.
I don't even know if Malik Monk played in that game.
LeBron was their third leading scorer.
LeBron was not their third leading scorer.
He was their leading scorer, right? He went for like 40.
Carmelo Anthony was their third leading scorer with 9 points.
I kind of forgot.
9.
LeBron, what did Russ do?
Did he start?
No, he didn't start. He came off
Melo
the
did
bench.
not start. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Westbrook was like 3 of 14. He had 8 points and like more turnovers than assists.
A telling start.
It's a preview for tonight.
It was the canary in the coal mine there that opening night. Okay, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I had
You
memories
answered the
of
last
Russ
question,
having
so
a
I'm going to
good
go to Jay. Sorry.
opening night. For some reason, I had memories of Russ having a good opening night.
Now you have a bad memory.
That was very wrong.
Okay.
Not last year's.
Very wrong.
Okay, Jay. Which Lakers player said this about his conversation with LeBron in the offseason? You hit me direct, he remembered James saying. The GM ain't hit me, you the GM. He hit me. He was like, yo, champ, the time is now. And I felt that. The time is now. It's a different vibe, a different aura, a different energy. The time is now.
Whoever said this, I want you reading all of their text messages.
I feel like that can't be Kent Bazemore, but I want it to be Kent Bazemore.
It's got to be. If I had to, it's Taylor Horton Tucker.
I want it to be Kent Bazemore. DeAndre Jordan.
Not DeAndre Jordan. Jack. It was Jack? Zach. A chance to steal. I don't know why I called you Jack.
Wow.
Jack Harper.
That's what certain companies do with ideas. Let's see. I'll say like Rondo.
It was not Rajon Rondo. This was Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, again, Carmelo. Yeah.
The time is
Good
now.
locker room,
guys.
Good
All
locker
the
room
answers are Carmelo. 2 in a row.
I wish
Carmelo.
so.
Right.
I hope so.
Get ready for this.
It's like doing Oklahoma the way down the
Thunder
stadium.
legend Carmelo Anthony.
Okay. Last question. Jay King. Who played more minutes on night 1 for the Nets?
Uh-oh.
Jay King got
LaMarcus Aldridge, Blake Griffin, or James Johnson?
I love the music right now. It's just torturing me because I haven't even gotten close to getting one right.
Well, you got a 1 in 3 chance here.
I'm gonna go James Johnson.
You're going to be wrong, J. King.
Why would you even include him in there if he wasn't right? Just
okay. Zach, chance to steal. Chance to win even more.
It was Blake, James Johnson, and LaMarcus.
Mm-hmm.
It being LaMarcus would really annoy me, so I'll say Blake Griffin.
It was Blake Griffin. He played 23 minutes that night. Started for the Nets.
I'm horrible at this Schleck
Jay
trivia.
finished third in the
long season.
In a two-person
winner,
race.
Zach Harper is the winner. Mo DeKeel came in second, didn't even play in the game, and J. King with 0.
Oh,
that's a
shit.
pathetic showing,
So
by me,
good.
honestly.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Right.
That's
I
a good
got
Slam
no
Jam trivia.
excuse.
All right, let's.
Why'd
end
I
this
go
on
with
some-
James Johnson?
It's a really
because you're
interesting
really bad at this.
idea.
They'll give you
Yeah.
options and you still screw them up.
Let's
had
do some
high
rapid fire here. Jade, I need you to throw up some comments on the screen. We'll comment on them with rapid fire. I want to rapid fire questions. Questions for like that we've got prepared. I want to do that. I want to rapid fire with the people. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, comments. It can be making fun of us. It can be asking questions. It can be anything. But we're just gonna fly through these things. It could be talking about how great my power rankings are every single Monday on The Athletic, theathletic.com. They're 100% accurate every single week until proven otherwise. And you
I mean,
can't
they're
really
great
prove it
this week.
otherwise.
Everything's
41 and
perfect this week.
41 for the Kings. Is Coach of the Year worthy? Good
You know,
Lord.
I got to say something. Jay King loves the Kings. He thinks Mike Brown's going to win Coach of the Year. They're going to 41 and 41. The only way any of that happens is Keegan Murray goes nuts, and he's not your Rookie of the Year pick. Come on, Jay King. You got to be consistent.
First of all, De'Aaron Fox, DeMontis Sabonis, Harrison Barnes. There are other ways that Kings can
That's
win
true.
games.
No, and they
Kevin
led them
Huerter
to a
without
bottom 5
Keegan Murray winning
offense
Rookie of the
after
Year.
the trade. They led him to a bottom 5 offense after the trade last year with all those offensive players.
That's right. Keegan Murray is the key, man.
AZ
I mean,
and Paula
Mike Brown
is
is
Got
Mike
key in
Brown
the name.
will be the start,
Like
but
Paula.
Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's next? What's next? This is
Yeah,
great. I like the comments. Zach or Kevin
Dude, to look
O'Connor?
better. For what? I mean, if it's
For
hair,
what
it's
look?
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Zach Harper's hair is actually
nobody's messing
guys,
with my hair.
we can't
He
do
has
this.
his own
We can't do
contract.
this.
DM me for liquid
Sign his own
collagen, $10 off, man.
We
It's
cannot
what
do
the key
this.
to get this. Oh my goodness. You know,
We
and here's the
Kevin-
thing.
Kevin
You
did
know,
it.
you wanna know what the messed up thing is? I didn't even do my hair today. This is just how I woke up.
He needs
Bam.
no encouragement.
Odds on the Atlantic Division going 5 for 5 with playoff teams. Oof, that means the Knicks. And that
Who's in
is
the
a-
Atlantic Division? Okay.
Like, playoffs or
Raptors,
play-in?
Wizards?
Sixers.
No, Wizards not in it, right?
No. It's the Knicks,
Sixers,
the
Celtics.
Nets, Raptors, Sixers, Celtics.
Yes.
You know what? Yeah,
No.
I mean, I think. Well, if we're counting the play-in games, I think
It
so.
could
'cause
happen.
Yeah, let's
Knicks-
count the play in. Let's
The
count
Knicks
the
are
play-in.
going to
got the play-in,
spam
then
some
yes.
wins
Yeah.
too, man. Like the Knicks are going to. It's the Tibbs thing, right? They're going to try hard. He's going to not play some of the young guys enough. Like he's going to sign Taj Gibson, and that's going to steal 2 wins. They're going to like. It's going to be. The Knicks are going to make the play-in. I think.
I think the Knicks are better than people think. I think they're a playing team. Like I think they get off. They
You
get
guys got a lot of faith
Can they
in
move
Julius
Julius
Randle
Randle? I was going to say, can they move Julius Randle?
to an
Julius
NBA
Randle's
team.
moving himself. He's
Yeah,
cutting
like-
now.
No, I mean there's not a place to move them, but I think there's.
The-
I think they're a playing team.
They're gonna go as Julius Randle goes. If he has a bounce back season, they'll be fine. If not, they're gonna be trash. 50, 40, 90 from Kyrie on the way. That is not surprising me. The
I love the
65
second
or more
65
games.
games.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
that's
where
the
we're
same
all
thing.
right. Now we get into a debate.
Probably
He
will
could play
play
10
65
games.
more games.
Guys, we're-
MVP Kyrie Irving.
We're not even talking
goodness.
about like, listen, we got a big election in November. We don't know how Kyrie's going to react. Pencil him in for a day off after that, depending on how that goes. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. A lot
Okay,
of
You
PTO.
know
coming
what's
his way.
funny?
Guys,
As I was reading that, I was like 50, 40, 90. Yeah, probably. And then I was like 65 games. Nope.
It's like no,
No,
that's a lot.
Four
now
times
it's
in his
unrealistic.
career. 4 times in his career, he's played more than 65 games.
When's the last one?
It was, I have it pulled up. It was 2018, 2019 in Boston when we watched him actually quit
Yikes.
in a playoff game.
On the team.
65.
games.
You know what?
Picture
50 games.
seems
What?
appropriate.
Screw it. I say
Contract
72
year.
games. 72
Contract
games for
year, though.
Kyrie. Yeah, contract year, lock it
Wait,
in. I'm with Trey on
Contract
this one.
year.
Trey's been talking
67
about this.
games.
Yeah.
The 67 games in Boston, contract year.
Mm-hmm.
He got traded to Boston, but he signed I guess 16, 17, he played 72 games that last year in Cleveland. So if this is his last year in Brooklyn, he'll play over 65 games. That's it.
Do we see John Collins getting traded? I mean, he's on the block every single season.
He was drafted.
He really is.
He's the new Miles Turner. And Miles Turner still hasn't gotten traded. But like, ever since he signed that contract.
He is a Miles Turner.
Travis Schlenk is interesting because halfway through last season on radio, this wasn't a leaked conversation. He on public radio in Atlanta, he was like, "Yeah, I don't know if I should have brought this team back. Like this is a mistake."
It was more like I should never have brought this.
Yeah, I mean, he openly questioned them. Yeah, openly questioned him, and then they turned it around. But yeah, I don't know how much he's in love with anybody on this team outside of like Trey and DeJounte and DeAndre Hunter and Clint Capella. Like, I think those are the four that he loves, and then outside of that, like, I think it's all movable. They didn't really want to give Collins that deal. They kind of had to with that 5-year 125. Like, I don't think he gets traded, but he's going to be in the rumors again, especially if they start off slow. Like he'll be on the block
slow.
Heavy.
If they start slow, they're definitely going to put him on the block right away. Which leads to this question:
well, they may have to trade him because of the money.
First coach fired.
They need to move him.
First coach fired. Ooh.
That's a good one because again, if they start slow.
Yeah, Nate McMillan's on the block. I think Nate McMillan's starting the season on the block, right? I mean, you go from the success they had 2 years ago, which, a little bit of fool's gold there, but still, I think there was a huge drop off last year. And it just seemed like the vibes really turned on him. Say what you will about Trae Young and whether his teammates like him, but the coach's job is to make that work. And Nate wasn't really making that work. So I think could be Nate McMillan. But
I think it's Nash. It's Nash.
Yeah, Nash is.
Kevin Durant has already gone out and tried to get Steve Nash fired.
Yeah.
And
okay, but if they start 9-1, right, then nobody's talking about it. And I think that the Nets are a better team than Atlanta.
Yeah, but they have worse.
They do have
worse
vibes,
right? Like,
and they have much higher expectations. Like 6-4 could be enough to get him tossed out.
Their first five. Pelicans, Raptors, at Grizzlies, at Bucks, Mavs.
I mean, like,
yeah, that's for real.
Yeah,
that's a big run right there.
They could go 5-0, right? Like they're really good. They're really talented. They could also go 1-4 and just like
anything's on the table with them. Anything's on the table.
Actually, I think it's if they lose to the Pacers on Halloween night, I think he's gone.
On the second time they play the Pacers too.
Yes, yeah, I think he's gone there. Bottom 3 teams in the lottery.
I mean, it's hard because Spurs, Utah.
I actually don't know I don't know that Utah's going to bottom out record wise. I mean, they still have some moves to make, but they've got a lot of like good role players. They didn't put it all on young players like San Antonio. Like Spurs,
Colin Sexton's going to score like he's going to win them some games that they shouldn't win.
How about this for a surprise team? And I guess it's kind of trending this way, so maybe it's not a surprise. Hornets.
Hornets
end up tanking.
They're already bad. Yeah, they're already bad.
And LaMelo's already like starting the season with like an ankle injury or something, right? And so
I could see the fire sale real quick. Hayward and Rozier out.
Houston's going to be bad. Like I think Houston's going to be fun, but Houston they're not going to win games yet. So maybe them. Thunder might not start tanking until February. Right?
I don't think they'll be bottom 3. I think they'll be like 5 or 6.
Yeah, like 4, 5, 6.
I don't think they're bad
range.
enough to be in the bottom 3.
Well, it's just when they decide once again, like, hey, Shea, you got to sit down.
Shea's playing tonight. I'm shocked. I saw the injury thing.
Yeah, he looks good.
Shea's playing tonight. That is shocking because the Thunder don't play tonight.
Yeah, they play tomorrow night.
That's a good point. But whatever. He's in the opening night lineup. I was expecting because he started out with he had that injury. I was like, oh, he might miss a few games, and now it's like.
Who do we think gets the first bucket tonight? Let's do that because what are the biggest locks for bets tonight?
Shea.
Who do we think it's the biggest, the first bucket of the season?
Oh, it's Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid. He'll win the tip.
Yeah.
Philly wins the tip. Maxey. They're going to feed him.
I was going to say, give me Maxey. I like Maxey.
No, you got to feed the big fellow a post up first possession.
Oh,
it's
guys,
Rivers. Doc Rivers.
There's one guy shooting
He's not
immediately
Perkins,
tonight.
Though.
It's Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart is getting the first
off the tip, off the catch,
off the tip. He's going to steal the tip, pull it from 3 for no reason. It's going to bank in, and that's going to be your first bucket of the season.
Who's jumping the tip tonight? It's Al Horford. Yeah, no. Give me Embiid. Philly's going to win.
That's why Marcus Smart has to steal the tip. He has to go play. He has to go be Ed Reed. He has to go play free safety here. Man. Oh, Schlecht, who are the Thunder trading away this season?
Oh boy, I mean they just made they're not trading Shea. They're definitely not trading Shea. I mean, it's going to be a very boring answer if it's somebody. This Thunder team, they just kind of want to see who's a player and who's not. So it's nobody of interest. Nobody is going to help anybody. Everybody is like 22 years old on this team. There's not really been any that's that interesting. Darius Baisley, how about that? Darius Baisley will be
contract
traded before the trade deadline. They didn't extend his contract. And so Presti doesn't like guys to get to restricted free agency. So they'll trade Baisley before the trade deadline.
Get a second round pick. It'll be like who's the guy? Jalen Smith. Suns.
Oh,
move, right? I mean, yeah. What about Jalen Williams?
You don't.
This is not a guy who's going to get traded, but the guard. Looks like Sean Livingston, man.
He's one of my 5 favorite rookies. Like Jalen Williams is a hooper. He's so good.
Super productive, great passer. He's actually like a pretty physical defender already, which kind of surprised me in the preseason.
Let me say this.
He's good.
Would have been their best rookie this season, no matter injuries or not.
Wow. The Chad hate is palpable.
Man, I wish Jay was on the call for this.
I'll clip it and we'll send it to him.
What are you talking about? He tells us to Jay every day.
And then let's do this last one from Hooptistic. Ben Simmons, Defensive Player of the Year. That's Mo's dark horse pick. What do you guys think? I like it.
I mean, it works, right? Like if the Nets have a good defense, it is going to be because Ben Simmons made a difference.
How good of a defense do you think they have to have?
Top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5. Yeah.
I think it's a hard case to make for any guy for Defensive Player of the Year if you're not top 5 in defense. Because I mean, again, this is why Rudy Gobert keeps winning them. And it's a good hallmark, right? Top 5 defenses, that's usually a hallmark of a good team, not just a good defense. It's hard to lose games with a great defense. And so I think that if he's going to win, they are top 5 defense. And he's like probably a couple of steals, a block and a half, and, 5 deflections a game or something crazy. He really is going to have to, because of Marcus Smart, he's going to have to actually have some stats.
Yeah. Man, if that happens, the Nets are probably the favorite going into the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Like if that's reality, I mean, they would be. Right?
If they have a top 5 defense with Kevin Durant, yes.
Guys, look, I'm not saying they're not going to be good, but aren't you just expecting something to fall apart at this point?
Oh, it's
like even if they're the best, they 1 seed going into the playoffs and top 5 defense and top 5 offense, all this stuff. Like for some reason, I just keep waiting for that shoe to drop. Even though on paper I look at it and I'm like, I love this team. I love the way it's built. I love the stars. Like Kyrie in a contract here, sure, I'll buy it. But it just feels like something with all the drama this summer, something is leading to a disaster.
I'm with you. I find it absurd that they have probably like some of the they're like the second highest odds in the East to win the championship.
But that's not. I know, think they're going to be the second. It's the
books and things like that. Yeah. But still, like I mean, higher than Milwaukee, even higher than Philly. It's like to me that surprises me.
Also, for first coach fired, I was negligent in not mentioning Mike Budenholzer. We just gotta win the title.
Right. I thought that was I thought there'd be a bumper underneath that would just say automatically when you hear it, and it just scrolls under your box.
What
about Chauncey Billups for first coach fired?
I don't think he'll be the first coach fired, but I think it'll be an off-season thing.
Yeah, I thought Jason Quick's piece, about Chauncey as a coach, I thought it was on the money, and I think that team. I know Zach, you have a Portland agenda. I was listening to you on Buds. I was listening to you earlier.
I'm all in.
I think they're going to be bad.
I don't know why I'm all in, but I can't stop thinking about the Portland Trailblazers.
Imagine the Utah defense the last few years with worse guys up front and no Rudy Gobert. That's what they've got, man. Like it's
I don't know, man. You got the big Bosnian back there. I'm all in on a Nurk team. Love me some Nurkic. Last one. Did I miss the no dunk guys? No, you didn't. Keep it locked in after this ends, and maybe your algorithm's going to kick them to the next video on YouTube. How about that? Thanks to everybody. Thanks to DA. Thanks to Marcus Thompson, Jay King, Trevon Edwards, Dave DeFore, Mo Dakil, Andrew Schlecht. Who else I missed? The no dunks guys who are coming up next. Maybe. I don't know what your algorithm looks like. Jade Hoy, Jerome Chang. Everybody, make sure you subscribe to The Athletic. It is the best coverage of sports on the internet. And I'm not just saying it because I work for them. I actually believe it. We're the best. Nobody can